All right, here we go. Finally, happy Tuesday. What's up, everyone? Also, my webcam's totally messed up. Let me fix that. Hang on a second. It was like really bright here a second ago, so I made some adjustments to the exposure settings. That's not the right button. There we go. And it's on this monitor. Oh, of course. All right, hang on a second. How's everybody doing? I'm a little out of it. I made a crucial mistake in planning. Do we just put this to auto? Is that going to mess everything up? Everything's super bright, but I think that's how I used to have it. Well, fuck it. It'll do. Yeah, it looks alright, I guess. I wanted to get started a little earlier tonight, and I hurried home from work, and hey, what's up, Atomic Runner? In my in my rush to prepare the stream early, I went home, made dinner, and I was setting everything up. And for some reason, when I was about to do some audio testing real quick to set up the stream, I wasn't able to switch audio outputs to my headset. And I was confused about it for about 5 seconds before I realized there was a very obvious reason why I was not able to change audio output, which is because my headset was at my office. I brought it to work because I needed it for a thing. And because I never normally do that, I didn't have the thought to make sure to bring it with me back home, so I forgot. So I had to race back to the office to go pick it up. I spent about 5 other seconds thinking about alternate solutions and using my cam mic or some, I don't know, terrible other solution. But I figured, fuck it, it's like 25 minutes maybe back and forth. So I kind of got on my bike, raced there, and picked it up, and it's all fine and well. And we're still not really late per se. I still hope we can get through 2 episodes tonight. I just felt like an idiot for, and I remember specifically thinking this morning, I definitely have to make sure to remember to bring my headset with me home. That would be easy to forget because I don't normally bring it, and of course I did. So I kind of, yeah, I'm like a little loopy because I pretty much just got off the bike, hooked it up, and started the stream. So I'm a little out of it, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So aside from that, things are fine, I guess. I'm very, very excited actually to get into this game and to get into this very final stretch of the Caped Crusade. This is, as you can see down here somewhere, game number 65 out of 65. The very last game. We're obviously not going to, well, I should say obviously, but we are not going to finish this game tonight, but we'll get started. And the idea is to wrap this up on Thursday. And in the interest of being able to finish in a reasonable time frame on Thursday, I want to try to get through 2 episodes tonight so we don't have to do 4 in one go on Thursday, as we did last time, which worked absolutely fine, but kind of took all day. We have a lot of stuff to get through before we're done. Let me put this up here. Let me pause the jams. Oh yeah, the game was actually already running, I guess. Easter weekend here is going to basically be... Oh shit, right, I gotta put the... Hang on. Timer. Easter weekend is basically going to be the finale of this whole endeavor. I put out a tweet, which you may or may not have seen, but the planned schedule here is... we're getting started on this today, and we will hopefully, if all goes well, wrap this up on Thursday. Friday, I'll be taking a bit of a break. And then on Saturday, we will do the Lost Tape specials, checking out the games that we missed, or the games that are currently not, there's no record of them. Games where the VOD was lost due to an unfortunate flub on Twitch's end. So there are some old school 8-bit and 16-bit games we're going to be checking out. And then on Sunday, we will be doing the grand finale where we're going to look at a bunch of games that we didn't get to play for one reason or another. Kind of tangentially related games, games that weren't emulated or available mobile games and some stuff like that. I prepared a whole bunch of like pictures and videos and stuff that we're going to look at and talk about. And then, of course, we're going to rank every single game that we played for this, and that's actually going to be really fun. I look forward to that. But before we get to all of that good stuff, we, of course, do have to finish all these games. And, well, more specifically, we're going to have to finish this game, which is what we're about to get started on here. Okay, do I have everything set up here? Can I finally change the input back here? I think we're okay. So I actually went through the trouble in between streams here of setting everything up for the... Because I didn't realize I would have to do that, I guess, but I set up the cloud save stuff. So you'll see here when we're about to start this game, should be able to pick up on our previous save data from Season 1. Let me turn up the audio a little bit. I guess it shouldn't be super loud here, but let me just double check. I didn't really go through any of this before getting started here, so let's make sure we got, yeah, like subtitles and everything on. Let's go large. Can't remember if we did medium or large last time, but I think they weren't too big, so I think we can go large. That's fine. Languages. Well, I guess we're going English. Standard shows all points of interest in the environment, whereas minimal hides them. I'm trying to remember how it highlighted those things. Because I was thinking about the HUD UI stuff when we played the Season 1. And the one thing I felt like I would want to disable is like the text feedback that explains when such and such person will remember this or whatever. I kind of would like to turn that off, but I guess that's not an option, is it? So we got this all set up here. We're not doing crowd play. What was in here? I forget. Oh yeah, we can change the bat tech color. We did yellow last season. How about we mix things up a little bit? How about we go blue? Let's go blue. Import save from... I'm pretty sure it... Let me just double check. Well, okay. I'm pretty sure it found the save data when I tried to start a new game. Electro Altruism, what's up? Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday today, right? I can't even think. No Razor Green, yeah. I'm not sure what the whole idea is with the color. Like, it's such a strange, arbitrary thing to have an option for. I don't think there's, like... I can't remember anything in the first season where it, like, mattered in any way. But it's fun that you can change it, I guess. I forget if I explained this last time, but Shadows Edition was like some kind of DLC thing they released after the fact, where it's basically like all in black and white with the occasional splash of color. It's just like a different visual setting, basically. But we'll go with the normal game here. So I think it should... Yeah, exactly. Batman: The Enemy Within can be started as a brand new story or as a continuation of the Season 1 choices you made. So continue your story. Choose continue your story to add a backstory from previous seasons. So I would assume that this will give us a little bit of a recap. Like, I'm curious what, if anything, is going to be affected by this, but I guess we might get some inclination as we start playing. I'm gonna assume that we're gonna get a little bit of a recap from Season 1, and like kind of the way you did between episodes. You always get a little recap of the previous episode, which usually included specific like key moments where we had made a decision. So I'm going to assume that when we start the new season here, we will get some kind of recap, which will also helpfully kind of illustrate which, or at least some of the choices, which of the choices we made during the previous season will have any kind of impact here. I'm assuming the situation where we made those kinds of choices would be highlighted here. Thing is, though, it's like I feel like the way we ended up with Catwoman, the whole Harvey Dent situation, like every kind of major story thread feels like it's ended in pretty much the way it was going to end. I struggle to picture any real, like, Harvey's relationship with Bruce Wayne. Like, is it just mostly completely fucked, or is it completely fucked, or what? Like, he's still Two-Face, right? Like, that's not. I don't know. I'm curious. In any case, continue your story. Your story so far. Would you like to import a save or recreate a backstory? Well, we have a local save file, so let's just do that then. Your backstory is complete. This backstory will be tied to the current save file. Cool. So, because we have to go through all these hoops, which I didn't do before the stream, because I wanted to have this be part here. I was going to say, I don't know. I didn't actually super triple check here that everything is installed here. Okay, so episode 2, purchased but not downloaded. Apparently. I could swear that I definitely, like, downloaded all of this before. I definitely downloaded, like, 50 things here. But it does say that it's purchased, so let's see if we can download this, I guess. Do I press A? Like, this shit is so fucking confusing. I could have sworn that this product is installed. Cool. Do I have to buy it again to install it again? I don't have an option to install it because it's installed. Everything is installed as far as the marketplace is concerned. God, this it's against all odds. Everything just worked in the first season, so here I was naively thinking that it would work here. It's downloading something, not this apparently. Oh boy. Well, we have episode 1. Let me just double check this real quick, because I would like to make sure that this is all set up. So, I wonder if I can, like, how do I find? Why is this all just 360 games? That's all I own, apparently. I guess, yeah, it doesn't. Oh, okay, hang on. Are these here? Yeah, there we go. Manage. Wait, internal. Yeah, it says here. So this season 2, this is like episode 1, I guess. We got the season pass. We have episode 3 installed. Oh boy. Okay, hang on. Let's see if we can figure this out. What about ready to install? When you own content for this game or app that is not installed already, this is where you'll find it. Okay. What if we go here? I guess what I'm trying to find is where to, like, uninstall something so that I can install it again. I think this is episode 2. Why is this such a fucking nuisance? Okay, so how do I, like, uninstall this? Redeem a code. No, that shouldn't be necessary. I mean, I don't really want to buy it again. Let's not bring up any purchasing information there before anything bad happens. Okay, let's go back to manage. This is now a DLC management stream here. That's apparently what you need to do. Games and apps. See all. And it still doesn't appear here, by the way. Apparently I don't have it. It's like something is completely fucked up. Alright, so what if I go here? Manage storage. View contents. Uninstall things. That's maybe... I'm just back here. Okay, what if I back out? Uninstall things. Sort by A to Z. Well, it's not here. What if I go... Okay. Oh, boy. I wonder if any of this happened, because I definitely remember... hey, what's up, Icarus? We're trying to figure out how fucking DLC works. So, I remember this was on Games with Gold or Game Pass or something like recently. And I downloaded it like before, like a couple of weeks ago or something, before I was setting up to play. It was one of those things where I like made the purchase and it started downloading automatically, and I like paused or canceled a bunch of downloads. And then it turned out not long after that I actually wanted to install it here anyway. But I wonder if that like half finished previous install fucked something up here. I want to see if I can like maybe... Okay, so if I try to uninstall this, I would prefer not to like uninstall the entire thing. But if I can like figure out how to re-download or reinstall the other episodes. What if I... Okay. If I uninstall the season pass. And we go to the Microsoft Store again. Yeah, the fucking DLC episode management is the enemy within all along. Yeah, Chris, we're at this rate, it feels even the end. I would have said the end is nigh, but now it feels really distant. Now I can't even figure out how to get started on this shit. Okay, so I uninstalled episode 3. It says here that it's not installed. Actually, I should find the season pass. Okay, yeah, so we can install this. Is this... Okay, wait. Oh, nope! Ah! Show all. There we go. So I basically did all of this exactly the same way for the first and second game. And the first game worked just fine, but this one apparently... I don't know what's going on here. Alright. Install the season pass. It's weird how, like, the season pass is a separate thing, and then you still have to download the episodes. And it's weird. Okay. Ready to start. So according to the shop, this is installed, but according to my like system storage, it's not installed. Which means I can't access a way to uninstall it. Okay, so this is now owned because I got the season pass, I see. Oh boy. Buy to own. Well, let's not do that again. Okay. Let's go back to... No. And I use my Xbox so infrequently that I never get a feeling for how this shit works. Still doesn't appear here. It's not an app. Manage. I can't do like see more of a queue. Nope. Remote installation. All right. Okay. Let's... The thing is, at this rate, I feel like just reinstalling this would probably have been faster than fucking around with this. So it still doesn't think I can. Okay. Let me hop back into the game, I guess. Or maybe we'll just wait. Can I like quit again? How do I Xbox? Game option. There's no like quit because it is running, right? Maybe not. I think there's something like I think I've downloaded the data, but it's still some part of the system is unable to acknowledge the fact that it is downloaded and installed. But uninstalling, I feel like uninstalling the entire game is probably the only way we're going to be able to. But we'll see if this. Yeah, the Xbox UI isn't great. Granted, I'm not sure if this would have worked a lot better on PlayStation, but not helping, that's for sure. So the thing is, like, we do have the first episode, and if this takes much longer, we're not going to have time to play more than one episode anyway. So maybe we should get started on episode 1, and then we could continue with this bullshit. I'm very torn. I'm already like kind of an hour behind from what I'd hoped. So, I'm so torn. But I guess, I mean, feel free to voice your opinions. I think the downloads probably aren't like super slow, but I guess it's also a bit of a gamble. I don't even know that it's an assumption on my part that uninstalling and downloading it's gonna make it work. So on that note, I guess I mean, if I try to uninstall it and then reinstalling it doesn't work, that would be not great. Okay, yeah, so it's still. So just to be clear here, click download episode 2. I'm gonna hop in here and say that this is already installed. Yes. Okay. It's not, but okay, sure. So I guess I do this to go back. And all right. And episode 3 was the one that like kind of worked, so this should give us the proper install prompt. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we'll just get started on episode 1, and we'll try to figure this out. How's up, Jay? We're having a lot of trouble with this episodic nonsense, but it is what it is. We do have episode 1, so I think we'll just get started on that. And if we, by any chance, are able to get on top of this situation, okay, all right, that just doesn't do anything. We'll just see if we can maybe at least get started on episode 2 tonight. But it's okay. It's like 2 seconds of lag. All right. Anyway, I'm not really in the mood to fuck around with this anymore. So how about we just get started? Start episode 1. Oh yeah, that's barely visible. It's like very visible on my screen. On my stream preview window, it's not visible. So that's a happy medium, I guess. Timer is working. Might as well start it. So I hope we're gonna get some kind of recap. Otherwise, I guess I'm gonna have to try to recap things to the best of my ability. But I don't trust my ability to do that, so I hope for my sake that we get a recap. Let alone your sake. Oh yeah, we have some vintage Telltale loading times first, of course. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing well. I was going to say better than me, but I'm fine. I'm just a little flustered right now.
This game series adapts to the choices you make. The story is tailored by how you play.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
One fateful night, my parents gave their lives
Oh
for
shit,
me.
Batman's parents are dead?
They became my heroes.
Spoiler alert.
Their legacy untouchable. Until I learned the truth.
Yeah, this sounds like a
My father,
recap.
Thomas Wayne, was a criminal. He ruled over Gotham from the shadows. And everything I thought I knew about myself changed forever.
Yeah, I mean, he was a
The
billionaire.
children of Arkham exposed the truth about my father to Gotham. Their
It's to be
attack
expected.
turned friends into enemies and threw the city into chaos. I was committed to Arkham Asylum, where I escaped with the help of a mental patient named John Doe. After a bloody battle, I put an end to it all in the catacombs beneath the city. The Penguin, Two-Face, and Lady Arkham were the first real challenge I faced as the Batman.
I was just about to say,
They
I
would
like that
not
he
be the last.
focuses on like the only parts that he recaps are the shitty parts that I didn't care about.
Spring has arrived in Gotham, and with it comes City Hall's quarterly crime report. Crime is way down since the fall of the Children of Arkham, marking another triumph for newly minted Police Commissioner James Gordon. In a statement this morning, Gordon credited his success to the public partnership between the police and the Batman. He praised the mysterious vigilante for his sacrifice, describing him as essential to the security of the city. Things are looking up, citizens. After the long, dark winter comes the thaw. Now, if only the Knights could win a game, everyone would be happy.
Not much of a recap though. I would have expected to get to see some of our choices, but
13.
I guess not.
Rumi Mori, import-export magnate, one-time Pipex CEO, international arms dealer. The world sees Mori as a legitimate businessman, a philanthropist who gives to charity, not a criminal getting rich off the suffering of innocence. A masterful performance. I wonder, if a man hides in plain sight for that long, does he forget who he really is? What do you think, Master Bruce? Must be hard to stay true to yourself.
Yeah, we have a little more
I
time.
don't.
Well, at least
I never
in this
forget what
tutorial.
drives me.
I don't know.
Protecting the innocent from people like Mori.
Yeah, they really
That
skipped
stays
over a
the
lot of
same no
details.
matter what
Harvey
mask
Dent.
I wear.
Well, I mean, mentioned
Don't
Two-Face, I
I
guess,
know?
but Catwoman was not
Masks
mentioned
are
at
hard
all.
to maintain. If there are cracks in Mori's, we'll find them.
Also,
The GCPD
conspicuously
already bugged his
unmentioned,
penthouse and found nothing, meaning
the
that if
fact
he's
that
doing
the
arms deals in Gotham,
Lady
They happened
Arkham
on
was
the casino
Vicky Vale.
floor.
I
need
guess
to find
if
a
the
way
game
hear
wants to
what
ignore
Mori's
that,
saying.
I'm happy to play along.
standing by for support. Look for something with a microphone. The Bat computer can intercept his communications.
He certainly enjoys the good life, doesn't he?
Made a fortune running guns during the Arab Spring. Diversified into biotech shortly after. From what I understand, he's not one for pinching pennies.
But yeah, like Vicky Vale secretly being Lady Arkham and whatever, like that's dumb and kind of the main final like antagonist or whatever. But the sort of downfall of Harvey
Hotel
Dent is a
security
pretty
are guarding
major story
particularly
thread throughout
close.
season
A
one.
man like Mori counts more enemies than friends.
I wonder why that is.
But I wonder if like the lack of mention of some of those things kind of implies that, I mean, I can see them not wanting to alienate players who didn't play the first season, but it also kind of makes me wonder if it's not gonna.
Looks like roulette is his
I wouldn't be
Achilles
shocked
heel.
if neither
He has a
Penguin or
reputation
Two-Face
for being
appear at all
lucky.
in this.
But then you don't need luck when you
And if
own
that's the case,
house.
then I guess you wouldn't really need to spend a bunch of time talking them up in the beginning, you know.
Consumer model.
But who knows? We'll see.
Be a good way to hear Mori's conversation. Al, I'm hacking into Mori's phone.
Time to hack.
Encrypting your signal. Last thing we want is for him to know you're here. We're in. You should be able to pick up audio from Maury's phone.
Is everyone enjoying themselves? Don't worry. I won't tell anyone with a badge.
He's on a roll. It's only a matter of time before he gets too chatty.
Try to blend in.
So, I've been sitting over there wondering, what's Bruce Wayne doing in a place like this? I figured you went to fancier casinos.
Silence
Someplace
is a
where
valid
only
option.
high rollers go.
Don't tell anyone, but I'm here undercover.
Don't worry, I can keep a secret.
You? What in the hell are you doing here?
Stop me if you've heard this one before.
Edgelord Riddler.
I begin and have no end. And I end all that begins. Who am I?
I don't give a damn. I told you 10 times. Our arrangement is over.
Death, Mori. I am death.
Something's happening, and it doesn't look like a deal.
The man in the hood. I remember him from your father's time. I think that's Riddler.
Highly inconspicuous. All right.
Is something wrong?
Chicks dig the car.
You seem distracted.
This is why Superman works alone.
Bruce.
You think your gibberish intimidates me?
Hello?
That's him.
All right.
How about
Hey, what's
we
up?
go to my
Annoy
place?
Sumo. Thank you for the follow.
I'll call my driver. Meet me outside.
Well, since you put it like that, I never do this, you know.
You know, me neither.
No one threatens me in my own casino. Security!
Sir, it's time to leave.
For you? An easy one. What question can you never answer
Yes, to.
I don't give a crap. Let's go.
wrong? The correct answer is, are you dead? Now, let's get started.
Not a lot of security in this place, is there? There's like one fucking dealer. Then that was it. I also like that this guy who clearly had a history of sorts with the Riddler in no way acknowledged him as a threat, but rather like it's some kind of nuisance. Like, oh man, I don't want to deal with this. Like, I don't know.
Al, let Gordon know what's happening.
But we'll see.
Right
We'll see.
away.
There's
Hey, no one leaves.
time still for this Riddler version to redeem itself here. We'll see. I like that he motioned as if he disassembled it, but he actually didn't. He just like emptied the clip.
Commissioner Gordon on the line, scrambling.
Well, he didn't even
audio
empty
now.
it. He released it, I guess.
Batman, what's the status?
Batman voice on. Oh, just Batmobile, I guess.
Multiple gunmen, hostages at the casino. A madman in a mask.
Riddler's back in Gotham.
Riddler? He hasn't been seen in years.
Well, he's putting on quite a show.
Alright, press A to Batman.
There's a squad.
I was wondering about this. Are we going to start this game with the shitty armored suit from the end of the first game? Because in the menu, when we saw the Batcave, you actually saw both Batsuits. And I liked the first one so much better. We'll see, I guess. Seems like a typical thing, like whether it's movies or games or whatever. Like I guess you have to, like, well, someone feels the need to redesign and update these suits every time. Although I'm not sure if it's like going to be different now, or rather just build on the new suit we got at the end of the first game. But man, they can't just leave well enough alone. Well, is that the expression? I don't know. You know what I mean. It looks good, so no need to fuck with it, but what they do.
Please, please. We can make the deal. Anything you want.
Our issues can't be solved with handshakes, Maury.
I'm not in love with Riddler's design, I have to
This
say.
is what happens when you back out of a deal with me. There's only one way you're getting out of this alive. You have to solve a riddle. And I choose my words carefully if I were you. Listen closely.
No, please, don't do this.
Without fingers, I point. Without arms, I strike. Without feet, I run. Who am I?
That drone.
I've got visual.
That drone fully functional.
I'll need a place to drop in without being noticed.
All right, do we get to plan an assault here? I guess so. We're doing some recon. Oh, the controls are sluggish. Okay.
The mere pondering of which can drive brilliant men to
Right.
madness.
Oh, right. Okay, I have a cursor over there. That was confusing. All right.
A terror from the past. I never thought I'd see him on our streets again. He's not to be taken lightly.
The whole, like, suit with the hood is such a strange look. I like it better than, like, the Arkham
Seem like he's
version.
getting out until he guesses the riddle.
Or
This Riddler
Arkham
certainly
versions,
has
I guess.
imagination.
But it's still, like, he still kind of comes across as too, I don't know, like kind of street fashion-y. I don't know. It's I prefer my Riddler a little more traditional, I guess.
Casino patrons, innocent bystanders.
They're clearly not his main target. Must be an insurance
But he can still be
policy.
well written, even if he looks a bit dorky. Well, we'll see.
Cashier's booth. That'll do. Just need to take out the guard first.
Yeah, basically, as they said, like he was, he was around ages ago, but he's new to Batman, which is, you know, like fair enough. I think that's a fine idea for, like, you know, colorful criminals in this sort of comic book world to not necessarily begin with Batman.
Time for a distraction.
Completely invisible fucking giant drone. Alright, action time. Does this look alright to y'all? Because it looks fucking super dark on my stream preview thing. Let me know if we need some brightness adjustments.
Batman, we can't get in. The front covered by gunmen, and they've got the back barricaded with blackjack tables.
How should I deploy when we're inside?
I'm relying on your eyes and ears. What's the best course of action?
We need a distraction.
Just beat a Batman.
Find a way to limit their line of sight.
Sounds like a plan.
Brightness seems fine. Alright, it's probably just my second monitor being a bit shit then.
You're completely insane.
No, I don't believe that's it.
I'll clear a path. Wait for my signal.
Give them hell. We're counting on you.
Yeah, they're going in. Oh, okay, that's a little different. Hard and fast for, like, establishing the grisly nature and slam into the card table. All right, this is a little different.
Batman!
This is kind of
You're ahead
like
of
that.
schedule. I'm a little busy right now, but I'll see if I can fit you in.
In the first game, we kind of do a bunch of pre-planning,
Not the hostage. Shoot the hostage.
but here we just get to make the choices live here. Anchor the gun. Hope that works. Oh, no, wait, what? Okay. Yeah, just controls for all of this is different.
Hiya, Bats. The Batman clearly isn't using his head. Break it open. With pleasure.
He's, like, not particularly witty, this Riddler. Oh yeah, the super move. All right, there's no super meter in this one. I'm down. The audio is so like exaggerated.
I've heard stories in the streets about you, Batman. You're the biggest name in Gotham since, well, since I left town. Everyone's very impressed with you.
The Batsuit definitely looks a bit different, I think.
I'm not impressed. Gotham's criminals have become zealots and thugs in cheap suits. And you, I've come home to find a wannabe in my chair. Eating my goddamn porridge. This is my city. Now I'm back.
You don't know me, Riddler. You have no idea what you're up against.
You must think you're so special. You're not the first hero I've put down. You're
Quick.
supposedly the world's
Bat
greatest
Wikipedia.
detective. Yet here you are, completely at my mercy. I don't see much evidence
Gordon,
of that.
now.
Oh, you have to be kidding.
I never kid.
Clever, but not smart enough. Let me show you how it was done back in the day.
So yeah, I was about to say, so this is some like middle-aged prankster here who is the physical match for Batman. But I mean, I guess Vicky Vale went toe-to-toe with him in the first game, so...
Common street hood. It just doesn't do it for me.
Alright, let me stare at this for a thing. Okay.
Follow the power lines. There must be a weak point.
Alright, it seemed like a good place to start looking, but alright. That worked, I guess. Oh.
You broke the cage. That's cheating.
Think I care about your rules?
I'd heard you were a man who followed a code. Why would you save that dirtbag's life? Maury made his money running guns, trading off the suffering of war. Why wouldn't you just let him die?
You thought that stunt with Maury would cover your escape. I wanted to show you I could save him and still catch you. I don't have to compromise.
You haven't caught me yet? Nothing I've seen so far suggests you will.
What if I punch you really hard, though? Body slam. Like, why is he getting up? Like, this is dumb, honestly.
You know how to scrap. I'll give you that. But it's not enough. Let's see how you do with something a little more cerebral. Better hurry, detective. Solve my puzzle soon. Or people are gonna get hurt. And we know you can't let that happen.
Like, Batman essentially lost a fist fight to the Riddler. Right? Like, isn't that kind of weird? What am I doing here? Preventing that thing from... Sure.
You should have called us before going in, Gordon.
Waller?
After all, we're here to help.
I don't know. I don't feel like this was nearly as strong as an opening as in the first game. It was a fun action scene, I guess. I think some things were definitely improved from the first game, albeit mostly in a technical sense. Like the transition between the shots, like the pacing of the action didn't feel as jerky and stuttery as most of them did in the first game. But I'm already kind of somewhere between confused and unimpressed with the presentation of the Riddler. Like, I think the characters were so strong generally in the first season. I don't know how much of a role Riddler is going to play in this in the grand scheme of things, but I'm already like, I don't think he's like done terribly or anything, but it's weird that he's presented as such a physical threat. I think that it's like, you know, it's when you have, okay, it's just freezing. Oh, there we go. I mean, it's similar to when the Joker is a big physical threat. Like, I feel like the Joker is used best in small doses, and if he is a threat, it's more of a philosophical or existential threat or something, not just like he's gonna punch out Batman. And I think, if anything, I think that's kind of one of the parts of what makes the Joker a good villain, because what he represents, or like the threat of the Joker cannot be neutralized by punching him, generally, right? And I feel like that's the whole thing with the Riddler, too. It's, you know, he creates I mean, whether you want him to be like this jigsaw killer, murder, death trap, contraption, gadgety engineer Riddler, or just the more conventional, like, wanting to outsmart Batman Riddler, either way, it seems very out of character for what I consider the more typical idea of the Riddler, to put himself in harm's way like that. But here he's like picking a fight with Batman and coming out on top and like taunting him. And I feel like that's a very strange relationship between these two characters, especially if the Riddler was like in his prime 20 years ago. It sets a strange tone, but I'm curious to see where it goes. Well, let's scan this thing.
Circuitry inside, but nothing obviously dangerous. The Bat computer will be able to analyze further.
All right, well, let's take it then. Inventory. I guess that's kind of new. Huh. I feel like this Batsuit is
Your days are numbered, Bat.
new, but like more based on the second one from the first game.
Keep one eye in the sky, jerk-offs. Heavens are gonna fall on your goddamn heads.
Tell me all about it down at the precinct.
The Riddler's right hand in custody. Not a bad result, all told. Riddler used to leave clues at all his crime scenes. Always thought he was smarter than the people trying to catch him. Thought we could use help dragging him down. He got a sick pleasure out of taunting
Well,
us.
he did escape.
He was smart enough to slip through our fingers.
Yeah, and leave a bloody mess in his wake. Riddler's heyday was a dark time in Gotham. And what we just saw, he hasn't mellowed with age.
Holy shit, the depth of field effect is working? It's like, see,
Commissioner
it's like doing what it's
Brace
supposed to do.
yourself.
That's
Just
an
so
improvement.
You know, this woman has a lot of juice with the governor. Rub her the wrong way, I could end up on foot patrol till I retire.
My people are trained for situations like this, Gordon. We'd have Riddler in custody if you'd only picked up the phone.
Gordon's cigarette smoke is also working.
You're the legendary
Man,
Bat.
so many improvements in this game.
I've heard a great deal about you. So much so, I don't know if I should believe the hype.
And you are?
This is Amanda Waller, director of the agency.
What are the feds doing here?
Riddler's their case. The GCPD has been asked to open our doors to them. Give them whatever they need.
We've been tracking that maniac for some time. No one knows more about him than we do. World-class criminals like Riddler, they're kind of our specialty. ... Does this one speak?
Just say what you want to say.
With pleasure. Riddler used to be a player in Gotham back when Thomas Wayne and Falcone ran the city. He disappeared so suddenly and for so long, everyone thought he was dead. Everyone was wrong. Riddler's back, and if these theatrics are anything to go by,
well, we know
he wants
that
the
much.
Whole city to know.
You're not giving us much information
People tell
here.
me you did some good work handling him, Batman. You and me? I bet we'd make a damn fine team. I heard how you dealt with Lady Arkham. Not to mention that filth, Oswald Cobblepot. We could do great things together if we joined forces.
I work with Gordon. No one else.
I appreciate loyalty, but that there... that's the issue. The only real problem with your setup is who you're working with.
Damn, not
Local
missing
law
words, huh?
enforcement clearly can't cut
I
it.
got a local crime rate says otherwise. Ms. Waller...
Please, Commissioner. Tear gas. In a hostage situation, we got an ambulance full of civilians with their eyes swollen shut. Not to mention you let Riddler slip through your fingers.
They're not dead, are they?
You GCPD cowboys clearly don't know what you're doing.
You're putting all this on me?
You're the commanding officer, aren't you? Or are those stars purely for show?
Back off, Waller. Don't blame the police, blame Riddler. Or hadn't you noticed he was the one cutting off fingers?
Oh, I noticed, all right. Just like I noticed you let him get away. I'm here to prevent this incompetence in the future.
Well, you did a great job stopping him
I gotta
yourself.
get a security detail on Maury while he's in the hospital. Agent Avesta will fill you in on what we know so far, as a token of interdepartmental cooperation.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the typical sort of telltale thing, right?
her.
It's not that we made the
Don't
wrong
tell
choice.
these people a thing,
She's just
especially
going to comment on
about
whatever
This is
happened. But I
our
think
town.
it's
We're
you
the
know,
ones that'll catch Riddler.
those touches
I thought you was gonna bite your head off.
make
for a
it
second.
feel interactive.
I'd like to see her
Even if it's
try.
all smoke and mirrors. I like it.
Special Agent Iman Avesta, Field Intelligence Specialist on the Riddler case. And my partner, Agent Blake.
How do you do?
I put together this psychological profile of Riddler. You'll see when you read it. He's changed. For your eyes only, if you catch my drift. The target of the casino attack, Rumi Mori. Any idea what Riddler wanted with him? We figure it has something to do with why he's back in Gotham.
I heard them talking about some kind of deal.
Any idea what?
No. But it'd be safe to say they didn't come to terms.
Wait, I love this shit. Like all this
Thanks.
Batman detective-y dialogue stuff. Like this is so fun. Like you'd never see this in games
I'm
or
Gotham
movies,
born and
really.
raised, you know. My dad ran a store in the shadow.
I'm
of
into this
City
for sure.
Stadium. I just wanted to say it's a real honor to meet you. I do have something I want to ask, though. The criminally insane. You're drawn to them, aren't you?
Whoa.
There's something in you that pulls you towards the danger. The chaos.
I'm gonna dot this one, I think.
You can't keep away, can you? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pry.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
I
awkwardly
think I
stand
know
here
you a
then.
little better now.
Vesta made a note in her file. Yes, I could see that.
I'll be in touch.
Hey, what's up, the opponent?
Batman, before you go, Gotham's your city. I respect that. But you should know I don't have to play nice. I'm letting you hunt the Riddler for now.
All right.
You
Well,
better
likewise.
share everything you find. Or this courtesy call is gonna become something you really won't like. You get me?
Grapple
There's
away.
a lot of ways this could go.
All right. Well.
Full disclosure, Riddler left me this puzzle.
What is it?
I don't know yet. He said I had to solve it or people would get hurt.
Then you best get on it. Let's keep being honest with each other.
We'll see about that. But figured I'll try to get off on a decent enough foot. The Enigma I mean, there's the detective. From a mechanical standpoint, you're not exactly doing a lot of detective work, but rarely in like Batman fiction or like adaptations, I guess I should say, do we see this kind of crime procedural aspect of it. And I think it's, you know, for me, it's mostly a thematic and sort of setting thing. You know, like detective mysteries. And I'd love to play a Batman game that is much more of an actual mystery-solving thing. But at least having the trappings of that aesthetic as the backdrop for the story and everything is something... Even that is something that you rarely get, and I really appreciate having that. Yeah, so I think the suit that we just saw there in the background was like the armored suit from the first season.
Evening.
We have like, yeah, we'll see if we maybe change suits or something.
I've taken the liberty of preparing some refreshments.
Thanks, Al. I need to focus. Maybe music will help.
Let's go for some jazz. Let's go for Bat jazz.
Something cool.
It's hard to convey. Yeah, but I think like it you know, the comics, certainly the very original comics were, you know, the sort of pulpy crime comics, and that's where it all kind of started.
The computer is finished scanning.
And I think definitely
it's ready when you are.
There's certainly a lot of Batman comics there where it's not a big thing, but also ones where it is. So it makes sense that it's, you know, certainly for video games, the punching people aspect's a lot easier to translate to video game than the character relationship and this sort of drama, crime. Like, crime-solving mystery games certainly exist. It's a genre, but it's kind of a niche thing, all things considered. So it's certainly not a surprise that it's not a major theme in terms of Batman games as a whole. But that's also why it's so refreshing when you do see it. I think it lends itself, but like I said, like it's I wouldn't mind it as more of a thing, mechanically speaking, but I prefer it to be present as a tonal thing.
Grapple. It's come in handy more
regardless of how much kind of depth there is to it, just having it there to make it different from other action games or superhero stories or whatever it is, I think is a cool thing. Imagine a James Bond game where 007 is anything other than shoot people. Yeah, I mean there are some, but not many. I actually remember the Game Boy 007 game being really, really cool. It's kind of a not exactly a Zelda clone, but it's like this sort of top-down action RPG sort of thing where I'm trying to think of what the closest analogy would be. I don't actually remember what the combat is like in the game. I guess you probably shoot people or maybe punch them, but it definitely has talking to people and like using items and essentially solving puzzles to progress. But I remember that game being really fun. Batsuit, latest design. Lucius gave me this upgraded model after my battle with Lady Arkham last year. The new suit has improved armaments, shielding, and scanning technology. Yeah, so this is the suit from the end of Season 1, and this is not the suit we were wearing now. Anchor. Wait, why is it? I'm pressing right. Yeah, this is the original suit. Oh, it's easily the best looking one of all of these. This batsuit was damaged in fights against the Children of Arkham and Harvey Dent's paramilitary troops. Lucius has since given me an even better version of the suit. I hold on to this one to remind me to never let my guard down in battle. Can I just like can I just equip this one? All right. I still would say that, like, I mean, I agree with your point, opponent, and I think James Bond is another thing where, like, there's so much fun you can do, and I think there's a lot of James Bond games I haven't played, but one game that I really liked was Nightfire, which is an FPS, but I think incorporates a lot of, like, fun set pieces and stuff. Obviously, it doesn't have that much like spy subterfuge stuff. A little bit, but I feel like it's you know, not just a shooter. To its
Vicky Vale,
benefit,
aka Lady Arkham, driven to madness, leader of the children,
and having those different, like, it even has driving stages and stuff like that, which I definitely liked. But for sure, like, you could have it's interesting to just theorize what a James Bond game could be. But I would say even so, James Bond is a corrupt mayor of Gotham. Oh yeah, the fucking penguin mask and his Google Glass monocle. This is what we get as far as a recap of season 1, I guess. Like, I feel like Batman, it's hard to make the argument that the detective stuff is like more important to Batman than like sneaky spy intrigue is important to Bond. But in a way, I think that's true. Like, I think that I find myself having a hard time explaining why I think that's the case, but
no explosives detected, no radioactivity. Nothing
maybe because I'm
so far.
Not that big of a
Computer,
Bond
run
fan,
another
all things
scan.
considered,
I wanna be
but
absolutely sure that
using
this
it
thing is
as a backdrop for fun action
Also,
set PC video
I
games
took
is still
the
kind of
liberty
fun. I
digging
don't
up
know.
everything I could find on the agency.
But there was also
know your enemy and all that.
there is a sort of kind of James Bond point-and-click adventure game.
It comes and goes.
It wasn't a James
since
Bond
the
game
kidnapping
originally, but it was like licensed
other business with
and
Lady
re-released
Arkham.
in North America with the Bond license, I think.
No, don't you worry about
Operation
me.
Stealth, yeah.
No, I should be fine. It was worse after my first tour of duty.
Your family, Alfred. We worry about.
But I mean, I think it proves that you can, like, the idea of a point-and-click adventure with James Bond isn't
Working always helps.
crazy. I mean, it worked awesome for Indiana Jones, right? And that's, you don't necessarily think of Indiana Jones as like super cerebral, you know, but it worked wonderfully. I don't necessarily think that the LucasArts indie adventures are like the definitive indie games. I mean, they kind of probably are, but I think they don't necessarily cover every aspect of what makes Indiana Jones cool. But the parts they do cover and focus on, they do so well that it becomes a satisfying and fun experience. And I think you could apply the same idea to something like Batman or James Bond or whatever. Like, you could have a Batman game that's even more, that's even less focused on action than these games, and still, you know, by doing the non-action bits so well, it still ends up being like a satisfying package. Trying to do a little bit of everything may be counterproductive, maybe. Regardless, I still appreciate stuff like this taking the slightly less trodden path, I guess, in like translating something that's so familiar like Batman, but doing it in a way that you haven't seen 50 times already. Over the past year, my partnership with Jim has flourished. Finally won his trust, and Gotham is a better place for it. Batman used to be hidden in the shadows, but Jim has helped me step into the light and find legitimacy. For that, I'm grateful. I do like that, too. Like, that's something we talked about with Arkham Knight. Like, Batman's sort of cooperation with the PD, like the GCPD, is... that was one of the things I really, really liked with that game. And it's also, like, having Batman always be like chased by the cops is kind of almost a tired cliche at this point, and it's also, I think, welcome. You know, I'm like a positive, optimistic kind of guy, I guess. It's like I like seeing people work together, I guess, as opposed to having this antagonistic relationship. Obviously, you need conflict and drama in the story, but I'm fine with, like, I guess I prefer Batman having allies as opposed to being completely on his own and, you know, the full-on super underdog that everyone wants to hunt down or whatever. All right, whatever. Not gonna read all this. So I like seeing that, and you know, it creates a little bit of a contrast from, or not that it creates a contrast, but it kind of builds on and creates some kind of an evolution from the first season, I guess. I like it. Gotham citizens support GCPD Batman partnership. Despite some heavy criticism from elected officials, the Gotham City Police Department's public partnership with the masked vigilante known as Batman has been rousing success with the city's population. Hey, that's good. Wayne Enterprises stock hits record high. Hey, I guess we're doing okay. Dent trial date pushed back again. A federal judge has delayed the start of former Gotham Mayor Harvey Dent's criminal trial by several more months, following the departure of the defendant's entire legal team. Yeah. We'll see how that goes. Agency, blah, blah, blah. Cobblepot model prisoner. I like that they acknowledge some of the events from the first season. I mean, we'll see how much they come back, like those characters, or how much is going to be followed up on.
Public face of a shadow committee of military leaders, intelligence experts.
But if it's not really part of the story, I appreciate them at least
violations, domestic black sites,
paying a little bit of lip service to it.
This information, it's all before Waller took over the director position. Perhaps she's given them a new direction.
Maybe, but the agency's empowered to override local law enforcement with impunity.
Batman's got some competition in town. I wonder if we need be worried about losing our unpaid and thoroughly exhausting job, I mean.
Well, things won't be easy with a bunch of spies nearby. They're well-equipped spies, too.
Maybe it wouldn't hurt to talk to Lucius about upgrades. Try and level the playing field.
Well, that seems like a thing that's going to be a thing. We're going to get some new gadgets whether we want to or not.
Terrorized this city long before you were Batman.
Gotham's original costumed criminal.
Alfred Lore.
Yes, to have him returned.
Alfred Wisdom, even.
It's unsettling. I remember when he was the scourge of the underworld. Even Carmine Falcone gave him a wide berth. He was presumed dead for so long. Why come back to Gotham?
Well, he seemed to have a prior relationship with Mori. Some kind of axe to grind. Let me upload the rest of this to the Codex. The agency realized Riddler was still alive when he orchestrated a prison break at Peña Duro.
My men here say you let yourself get caught, Mr. Riddler.
Just Riddler.
Why willingly turn yourself in?
Oh, Mr. Warden, to get everyone else out, of course. That wasn't obvious.
The man's deranged. If you ask me, he needs help. He's clearly sick. The man is in urgent need of a doctor.
His victims are the ones who need help.
I'll concede you have a point.
What was that?
You should see your face. Its confusion is delightful. I think I'll take it with me.
He's like weirdly savage too. I don't know, man. All right, okay. We're done here, I guess.
Let's see what Riddler's little gift is all about.
Solve my puzzle soon, or people will get hurt. Riddler's MO hasn't changed in all these years.
You know, after Arkham VR, I'm pretty much an expert at Riddler puzzle boxes. I mean, especially if they just... shows exactly what we're meant to do.
There's writing engraved along the rim. I have an eye, yet cannot see. Who am I?
That sounds familiar. I've heard it before.
Don't happen to remember the answer, do you?
Sadly, no.
Sad, disappointed. Yeah, they have a needle, of course, because it's the record.
The eye of a needle.
But how does that relate to the object in question?
Maybe it's telling us how to use it.
Sounds very plausible.
I'm the world's greatest detective. We got this figured out. Find something to use. I mean, I guess this, I don't know, if you're 12 and never saw a vinyl record, maybe it's confusing, but I feel like it's pretty straightforward.
Needle. A record needle.
Halfway there, Batman. Means you got half a chance of stopping a whole lot of pain. To be honest, you're already doing better than I thought.
I like it, though.
But don't sit around feeling pleased with yourself. Unless you want to see me tear this city apart.
I suppose you're going to look in there.
An open invitation from the Riddler? Of course. Huh. Looks like I'm manipulating radio bands or waveforms. Something. I'm not sure what I'm looking at or how any of it is actually displaying.
And that sound.
Alright, we gotta hack it.
What? Oh, I'm not really sure about any of it. Get Lucius on the line, will you?
It's a palm, yeah.
Hey, Alfred.
Good morning, Lucius. I hope we're not interrupting your breakfast.
My youngest is probably stealing all the bacon, but duty calls.
Man, breakfast. I could go for some breakfast.
This is a puzzle from the Riddler. There's a strange waveform pattern I can manipulate inside that needs your expertise.
Yeah, okay. I can meet you at Wayne Tower in a little bit. We'll, fire up the R&D lab.
I wouldn't ask if it wasn't important, Lucius.
No, don't worry about it. It's actually gonna be a big day for me. Tiffany starts at Wayne Enterprises.
Tiffany? Really?
Your daughter working alongside you. How wonderful.
Certainly is. Bruce, I'll see you soon.
Doesn't sound super thrilled,
Can't
but
wait to see Tiffany.
access the Bat computer anytime by entering the Batcave from the main menu.
Good hunting, Bruce.
Yeah, I like the transforming Batmobile. I think is a really cool concept. We didn't see it like transform that much, only like once or twice, I think, in the first game. But I like it, and the Batmobile in general, it's a pretty good one.
Oh, excellent. I'm glad I caught you. I have some good news to share.
Good to hear it, Regina. It's what I've come to expect, with you as Wayne Enterprises chairperson.
All right, some exposition here.
I just talked to the board, and our stock price has doubled since you took the company back from Oswald Cobblepot. The Gazette's running a piece about it.
Look, I would love to hear all the details, but I've got a meeting with Lucius I've got to run to.
Well, I don't mean to pry, but what's in that case?
That would
Seems
be prying.
like an odd thing to be carrying around the office.
Oh, this? No. This is just something for Lucius.
I see. Well, I've got a meeting I've got to run to. We'll pick up this conversation this afternoon.
Sounds great.
Completely feigning interest, but all right, sure. Just being polite, I guess.
You're in my chair.
Just updating the encryption on your bat tech. But if you want me to stop?
No, the seat is all yours.
This is the thing you were talking about?
One of Riddler's puzzles. Some kind of test.
Show me.
Almost feels weird out there, like very
Any idea what
casual.
he's planning?
Not yet. That's why I need your help.
Like he barely lets the office door
history is
close
anything
before
to
they
go
talk
by.
loudly about
You left
Bat
us a
Tech
clue.
and Riddler shit. Whatever.
A psychological profile of Riddler.
Knowing how his mind works, this should come in handy.
No sign of explosives or poison. Already scanned for that in the cave.
Press A to Riddler.
Would you look at that? Micro-pulse waveform. And the sound it's giving off.
A signal, maybe? I couldn't decipher it. I was hoping you could help with that.
I'll see what I can do. Shouldn't take long.
Speaking of...
It's not one of mine.
Think fast.
Casual security. All right. Okay. Well. So how did she open the door with that?
Hi, Dad.
Tiffany?
Maybe she's by the door.
Hey,
yeah, I
Bruce.
guess she just opened it.
God, Tiffany.
It's been a while.
Sneaking out of orientation your first day?
I just wanted to say hi to my new boss. I got you a present. A micro-drone prototype I developed in my spare time. High-end AV, stealth black shell, programmable for autonomous observation. Small, quiet, and super smart. Just like its designer. Not bad, huh? You always had a thing for toys. So hard to know what to get a man who has everything. So I made you some tech the government would be jealous
Just
of.
like that.
Someone here wants a raise.
She's already gunning for my job, Bruce. Can you believe it?
The hours you work? Not a chance. I actually have a life. Huh. There's something different about you.
There is?
I can't quite put my finger on it. But you look...
Well, please just don't say old.
Well, now that you mention it.
Hey, play nice. Bruce has had a rough year.
Interesting.
Don't.
Too late. Already touching.
Just be careful.
What a strange thing. The circuitry design. It's elaborate and unorthodox. Almost intentionally so. Like whoever put it together was kind of showing off. Huh. Micro pulse waves? It's just weird. Seriously, what is this thing? I've never seen anything like it. It's like whoever made it.
Pretty cool, huh?
I don't know if cool would be the word I would use. I can hear it hum. What does it do?
That's what we're trying to work out.
You guys are lucky I'm here to help.
Help with...
Figure this freakish thing out.
Tiffany did graduate first in her class at Cornell in molecular engineering.
Let me take a crack at it. I can help you get to the bottom of this. Figure out what it does.
Okay. I mean, she should go, but fine.
If you think you can help, then be my guest.
Oh, I know I can help. I just gotta let him know that I won't.
She's not going to take a no for an answer anyway, right? So
Oh,
might as well
I
humor
was planning
her.
on swinging by the manor after work to see Alfred. I heard he wasn't doing so well. That he was having some issues with his health.
I like that you get some time to actually react,
Well,
though.
I'll let him tell you himself, but he hasn't been doing so great since the kidnapping last year.
Oh no.
Yeah, every now and then his hands start shaking.
Music is a little strange, isn't
I'd
it?
like him to see a therapist, but you know Alfred.
Well, maybe I can convince him.
That's just creepy. All right. Well, it's ours now, I
Catch you
guess.
guys later.
Welcome aboard, Tiffany.
Thanks, boss.
All right then. Time to crack this puzzle. I never told her, you know. Told her what I really do at Wayne Enterprises. What we do.
Well, I should hope
If
not.
you're willing to pull her into this Riddler project, why not consider bringing her into the fold? Into the mission? We're going to need help if we're going to be dealing with the likes of Riddler. And we can trust her. She's family after all.
Well, if she's anything like you...
She's better than me.
Okay, then let's give her a shot.
Great.
He won't
start
remember it.
thinking about how
He
we can
won't
broach the
forget
subject.
that. All right. Okay.
In the meantime, Riddler's puzzle will be a fine
I mean, I've
start.
known her for about 2 seconds, but I guess she's
Shall we go
trustworthy.
down to the lab?
Actually, the equipment we need is down in my office. We'll get this taken care of in no time.
Yeah, he'll super remember that.
Mr. Wayne,
Yes?
I'm Special Agent Avesta. This is my partner, Special Agent Blake.
Well, I guess I'll see you in a bit. I'll be down in my office.
See you later, Lucius. Good chat.
Oh yeah, one of the best.
Sorry for the unannounced visit. We're with the agency's behavioral analysis unit. We just came by to ask a few questions.
I sure hope I'm not in any trouble.
Oh, everyone's in some amount of trouble.
Wow, that's
It's my
reassuring.
job to find out just how much.
Great. Oh yeah. Let me just
This office, it really represents you.
Well, I'd like to think so.
not super casually leave super secret stuff just laying around.
Is this you?
Yeah.
How old?
I don't know, 7, 8, maybe.
So happy. After everything you've been through, I don't know how you still do it.
Do what exactly?
It wasn't long ago when you were the most hated man in Gotham, yet you still give so much back to the city. Why do you continue to help Gotham? Most people wouldn't be so charitable after that.
My father did a lot of damage to a lot of people. I'm just trying to make things right.
Thomas Wayne did cast a long, dark shadow.
Should I have answered?
It must
I don't
be
know.
difficult to get out from under
He'll
it.
text me if it's urgent,
What,
right?
What is it you want?
The agency recently brought me in to draft a psychological portrait of the Riddler. We've been tracking him for months, but haven't been able to find him.
Riddler, that psycho from the news?
I thought you'd be interested, considering your history.
My history?
A lot of things happened to you last year, and not all of them were good. You put yourself at risk when you helped bring in your friend Harvey Dent. He was a violent psychotic at
Oh,
the
yeah.
time, almost destroyed the city. Come to think of it, you've been associated with quite a few psychopaths over the years.
Well, that sure is a thing to say.
I would. The criminally insane, they seem drawn to you. Either that, or you're often in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yes, having money and fame makes you an easy target. I've had my fair share of crazies knocking on my door.
Like this guy. I think you'd know him as John Doe.
We understand that it was during your stay in Arkham where you and John met and became friends.
We met for 2 seconds.
You two were close.
John may very well say that, yes.
But not you?
A conversation in a mental hospital does not make us friends, much less close.
I see. According to hospital records, you and John were involved in a riot.
They captured the whole incident on video.
I saw you flee after John cut another inmate, a man named Victor Zaz.
We didn't really flee, though, did we?
Several people were hurt.
That's not what happened.
I don't care what you saw. You weren't there. You don't
Did it
know what happened.
use my save data or
I
not?
realize that was an unpleasant time for you.
Because we did not
We're
run
not
away.
here to
We
dredge up ancient
helped
history.
stop the fight.
And why are you asking about him?
John was discharged from Arkham months ago. No one has seen or heard from him since. I was thinking maybe you have.
Why would you think that?
He listed you as his emergency contact. Sounds like you two were pretty close to me.
I did not agree to that. Why would he write down my name?
It's obvious. You're important to him.
Well, I haven't seen or heard from him, so... Did he do something wrong?
He's a person of interest. You see, we've got a wall in the office with a bunch of photos pinned to it. Two-Face, Penguin, Lady Arkham, you know, Gotham's most notorious. They've got all these little strings connecting them to one another. like a web. And you, my friend, are at the center. You keep pretty strange company for someone who wants everyone to think they're such a stand-up guy.
And your point is what exactly? That I'm some kind of criminal mastermind?
Or just really unlucky?
You know more than you're letting on, Mr. Wayne. Maybe you're afraid. Maybe you don't trust us. Or maybe you're a criminal, like your father. Maybe you're not the hero people think you are.
I am calling my That's an evacuation warning. It's time for you to leave.
We'll pick this up another time.
I was gonna say, maybe that was what Lucius was gonna call about.
Bruce, get my daughter out of the building. Get yourself out.
What are you talking? What did you figure out?
I've solved the Riddler's puzzle, Bruce. Riddler really pulled a good one over on us.
Lucius, please tell me what's wrong.
Yes, it is a bomb.
That I love her. That I'm sorry I wasn't around more.
Lucius,
we really made a difference, didn't we, Batman?
Lucius.
Spoiler alert.
Lucius! No!
One killed and 14 injured after a tragic explosion
The
rocks
GCPD
Wayne
is
Tower.
opening an investigation into what they are calling an industrial accident.
Wayne Enterprises Chief Technology Officer Lucius Fox died
Man, they're
last
really
Tuesday
just
in the violent blast. A small service is being held for the tech giant and father of 3 at Divinity Church
I mean,
this Sunday.
they're not beholden to like maintain a long-running continuity. What's up? Thanks for the 50 bits. So it's totally fine for them to decide to kill off characters to make these dramatic, you know, like that's a valid thing to create shock for whatever story purpose.
Take care of your family.
But I can't help shake the feeling of
just like Lucius took care of you.
Them kind of being overeager to make their own mark on things, you know, by making these drastic
was one thing.
choices.
This is personal. We can't let him get away with it. Riddler struck at the heart of our operations and tore a family apart in the process.
And like, I feel like it's not inherently wrong, but it's a little hackneyed, I think. So
that's why
they kind of need to overcome the inherent.
As long as he is stopped.
I don't know if stigma is the right word, but like,
it won't bring poor Lucius back.
Any decision like that, I think, automatically kind of is, unless they use it for a particular purpose that ends up particularly interesting, then I feel like it's kind of
yes, she can
not
use all
good.
the
I
support
don't know.
she can get.
It's hard for me to like find the time to express myself properly while trying to follow what's going on at the same time. So apologies if I'm unusually rambly and not making much sense. Oh yeah, it's
Tiffany,
I feel like the game has a lot to prove when they're doing things like that.
You're going through. I remember what it was like when I lost my parents.
Has the game done any choices where you only get one option, but
Sudden
1 to 2 seconds to pick it? I don't think so.
There's no feeling like it in the world.
I don't think there's been many sort of gimmicky things like that.
It certainly didn't for me.
Is that,
He loved
Bruce?
working
You're still
for me,
obsessed
you
with
know.
your dead parents?
They hardly saw him at home because of it. Mom used to complain my little brother was growing up without a dad. Now I guess it's true. He was so busy. I can't remember the last time I got to hang out with him. Just father and daughter. Just thought there'd be more time. There were so many things I wanted to talk to him about. So much wisdom in that goofy head of his.
I asked a lot of him. Maybe too much.
And he gave it all, didn't he? A real company man. Well, I hope it was worth it.
Well, I mean, I can't be upset at her for being upset. It's, you know,
Tiffany.
well within her right.
I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't blame you.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. Just let it out.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around it all. I saw his remains, Bruce. There was hardly anything left.
That's a bit fucked up.
What were you guys working on that could have caused that? It doesn't quite add up. Please tell me. For my own sanity.
Tiffany, I will tell you soon. Just not here.
What do you mean? Why not?
It's not the right time.
Odd, Bruce. What are you mixed up in? Fine. Just tell me one thing. That weird disc. Was that what killed him? Did you put my father's life at risk for that? I'm begging you. Just tell me that one thing. I need to know.
I don't like these options, but I'll go with the truth.
Tiffany,
Press B to Batman.
I really did. I had no idea Lucius could get hurt. Please forgive me.
Forgive you? I hope you can forgive yourself.
Your relationship with Tiffany has changed. All right.
Whatever you got my father into, I will find out. And I will shout it to the world.
Well, I don't think lying would have been better.
So sorry, really. It's such a shame. At least he went out with a bang, right? Now, for that, we can all be grateful.
You knew my father.
Well, no, but... Whoa, whoa. What the heck?
Seriously, Bruce? This guy's with you.
I'm so sorry. I will handle this.
Jeez, Bruce, that's quite a grip. Gonna leave a bruise for sure.
What are you doing here?
I told you I'd see you again, didn't I? You and me, we're two threads in the same stitch. Look, I got you a little something, just to mark the occasion.
Can I, like, use my inventory? Wait, hang on. Card? I just want to double check. Is there, like, in... Okay, D-pad. Okay. Okay, I don't seem to be able to... Alright, I just wanted to see if I could, Whoops. Okay, I didn't take it.
I got it wrong, didn't I?
Oh,
damn it!
Hey, keep it down.
Gotta be quiet as church mice, right?
Well, that was probably the right choice anyway.
It hasn't been easy for me out here, you know? I'm the new guy now. It's the freedom that gets to you. There's so damn much you hardly know what to do with it. It's not like Arkham.
Doesn't really explain why he crashed this funeral, though.
Sometimes I miss those padded walls. You knew where the lines were drawn. Which ones not to cross.
How did you get out? Oh my god, did you escape?
Didn't have to. Dr. Leland signed the papers herself.
I mean, they did mention that he
She
was
always had a
let
soft
out
spot
or
for
whatever.
me.
Oh yeah, that seems... I mean, even disregarding what we, as an audience, know about the Joker, that seems like
Would you
just sit down?
Today we gather
seems questionable to
honor
let
the
this guy
memory
out.
Of Lucius Fox. He was a friend, a father, a husband, a leader.
You are crashing my friend's funeral, John. You better have a good reason.
Oh, I do. I need that, favor you owe me. You know, you might have been a little reluctant at the time, but if it wasn't for me, you'd still be an arc.
That's like not at all true, by the way. But I can't fault... I mean, it makes sense that he would see it that way.
Aren't you? I know you're a man of your word.
I never made that promise.
I got into a lot of trouble for what we did, Bruce. You saw that place, saw those doctors.
You got in trouble for what you did.
Matthew tells us, blessed are those who mourn.
You see,
Dude, depth of field, like, working. It's amazing. Correct things being in focus.
Packed. They're amazing, Bruce. That special breed who live by their own rules. They remind me of you. Of your father.
So who are they?
You'll find out when you meet them. They're looking to bring someone like you into the fold. You will meet them for me, won't you? Please, I've got a lot writing on this. I already told them you would. Please don't let me down.
Gosh, John, I don't know. My schedule's just so packed these days.
Please don't blow me off. Not after what we went through together.
Maybe try my secretary.
Disappointing. You know, I spoke so highly of you. I told them you'd fit right in. Just makes me want, I don't know, lash out. Shh.
We're here to mourn. Please.
You shush me again. You'll be mourning the loss of your teeth.
Just tell him you're sorry and let it go. He's very sorry. We both are.
I am. I'm sorry. You should be allowed to enjoy the funeral in peace.
Yep, you said it, guy.
Sorry, Bruce. That outburst, it's antisocial, I know. Dr. Leland says I have a hard time handling rejection.
Is this Mark Hamill? No, I forget who does the voice, but it's not Mark Hamill.
Stress. You see,
We'll get the credits soon enough, but I forget.
Real piece of work. Calls himself the Riddler.
How do you know the Riddler?
More exciting faces.
I want to rip his eyeballs out. He's a thief and a killer, and worst of all, he's rude. I tried to let the authorities know the kind of lowlife they're dealing with, but... Wait a minute, you know him too. Of course, a man of Bruce Wayne's caliber knows everyone, so I shouldn't be surprised. Not your usual crowd, though. Or so I thought.
It's just from the news. The guy's clearly a murderer. Sick in the head.
Wow, very convincing, Bruce.
The half of it.
Very convincing.
If I had my way, that smarmy know-it-all would never leave his hole.
His hole? You know where he is.
No, not exactly, no. Maybe I said too much.
Alright, fine.
I'll do you that favor you asked for, John. Okay, just tell me what you know about the Riddler.
Jeez. Well, if it means that much to you. Yeah, I really don't know much. I heard always made people go to him for meetings. Somewhere in the East End.
Where in the East End?
Honestly, that's all I know. And even that might be out of date. If you're so eager to find him, why don't you let me help you? I'll find out where he is and get back to you. See if I can't find out where that jerk puts his head down. It'd be just like the old days.
Do not get involved.
When this clearly means so much to you. No. Don't you worry about a thing. I'll take care of this.
Yeah, I'm sure this will end up just swell, just like in the asylum.
Like I asked.
Hey, what's up, Aro?
Look, I think I outstayed my welcome here. I'm just gonna slip away. Excuse me. Sorry. It's been so nice catching up, Bruce. I miss this trust between us.
What's with the Joker? Trust. I mean, he'll come back for us. I don't think we have to worry about that.
I know we'll see each other again soon.
Be in touch. Goodbye, Bruce.
So in this continuity, the Joker isn't really a thing yet. I guess. We met when we did a brief stint in Arkham Asylum.
Whatever you say about John.
And
lead on Riddler's location. Inform
they're not exactly friends, but
to drag up GCPD
John Doe over there.
East End. And tell him we're on Riddler's.
Consider Bruce his friend, at least. That's kind of the long and short of it. But he played a very small part in the first season. He was really just in like 2 scenes. But he will play more of a role in this season.
It's one thing for the bad parts of town to get uglier, but when places like Wayne Towers start falling apart, makes you wonder what's next. I'll bet Bruce Wayne is wondering the same thing. Seems like the world's got it out for that guy. Spends some time in Arkham, gets drugged through the dirt by the media for something he didn't do. Finally picks himself up. What happens? Someone bombs his company.
Wayne has a talent for finding himself in the crosshairs.
You can say that again. You said you had a lead on Riddler.
Hiding somewhere in the East End.
Why am I not surprised? East End's been a no-man's land since Harvey Dent blew it up. I've tried to get more patrols out there, but City Hall's not giving up the funds. The area between 42nd and 48th, more or less lawless.
That narrows down the search at least.
I kind of like how some of the stuff from the first game, just offhand references like that, it kind of gives it some sort of a sense of history in a way.
A construction
which I think is
site
kind
in
of cool.
Summer 46th, abandoned.
Harvey's boys demolished that area, chasing the children of Arkham. There's nothing but a crater there. Not really a place for Riddler to have a hideout.
Well, call it a hole.
Looks like gang activity's heating up along 43rd.
Well, I'll see what I can do. Hey, I get it, but we're stretched thin, I told you. Riddler's a loner. I bet he's avoiding that area.
Makes sense. How about 44th?
The 44th was recently purchased anonymously.
Well, the only thing there is an old water tower. Something feels fishy about that. My gut tells me that's the place.
Agreed.
Nice work, Batman. If this lead pans out, Waller will have to eat her words. I heard you got all buddy-buddy with her after I was out of earshot. Told her about that puzzle you got from Riddler. I have to tell you, I got a bad feeling about her.
How so?
It's the way she goes after criminals. She's ruthless. Puts her people at risk. And believe me, she doesn't let due process get in her way. She'll stop at nothing, and I mean nothing, to get her man. It doesn't sit right with me. And I don't think she's good for Gotham.
As far as law enforcement goes, Jim, you were the best of it.
I don't know many cops with as much heart as you.
I appreciate you saying that.
Oh, Batsy.
She doesn't see that as a strength. I was ordered to give her updates on breaks in the Riddler case. If there's a chance he's there, we should probably let her know. Don't want to give her ammunition with the governor. She's already got him breathing down my neck about what went down at the casino.
Yeah, I feel like we should do that because
she's proven useful so far.
Just be careful around her, huh? She moved her people into my downtown precinct without so much as a please or thank you.
it's like if you're gonna get fucked over by a decision like that, you're probably getting fucked over no matter what. So you might as well like keep the moral high ground and be the better person. That's kind of my philosophy on these things.
This is why Superman works alone.
Game Trickster, what's up? Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. And welcome to the family. Like, I feel like I've even not playing that many of these games, I still feel like I've had several experiences of like trying to sneak one past someone and like getting called out on it. Like, I feel like whenever there's any kind of deceit or subterfuge, like it never really works out. So you kind of might as well, like I said, be the bigger person. I'm doing just fine, thanks. Enjoying this so far, for sure. Despite certain misgivings about the characterization of certain characters and certain plot choices.
No one's home.
I like it so far.
I told Waller about our lead on this place. She's caught up in briefings, can't get here for a while. She said she appreciates the cooperation.
See? I like that. Well, so far, worked out.
Not exactly cozy, is it?
Let's see what we can learn.
Oh, right. Yeah. Adventure game mode. It's kind of interesting. I like this suit better than the armored suit from the end of the first season, but this has definite, like, Nolan Batsuit vibes. Not my favorite. I think the first suit from season 1 is easily my favorite in these games, but I'm glad we're not still in that bulky metal suit, at least. I think the cowl looks good. The cowl that we had for most of the first season had a lot of those weird scraggly lines on it. I think this kind of looks better. Overall, I think his like face looks really great in the mask, and the white lenses I think is the way it should be. I like it.
Someone's keeping a scrapbook.
Vain, isn't he?
I've definitely come around on the bat voice in this one also, for sure.
See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil.
Like, it's a little goofy, but as a concept, it makes sense. And if you're gonna go for like a bat voice, I think this kind of voice modulation
Damn it! It's stuck.
makes more sense than just angry screaming.
Then how do we get out?
We go in.
After you.
Alright, hold right.
Give me a good, honest crack house any day.
I mean, I guess putting Riddler as a villain in like a adventure game type thing makes sense, because gives you an excuse to put puzzle, you know,
God,
straight up puzzles. Going on here.
One of his pupils is fully dilated. The other's contracted. A clear sign of brain trauma.
Huh. There's no sign of a blow to the head.
If I could be any character for one day, who would it be? I don't know.
There's some hemorrhaging from the ears.
His eardrums
Inspector Gadget, not a bad choice. I don't know, not something I think about much.
The man bit his
clean through.
He must have suffered a shock or a sudden jolt.
Cobra, the space pirate, maybe? I don't know. Go on fun, sexy space adventures and be generally the coolest dude in the galaxy. That'd be pretty sick. I'll go with that.
He was trying to call for help. The phone isn't getting a signal.
Damn it. Me either.
Lord Gordon with the flip phone. All right, what else we got? Yikes.
He's missing parts of his fingers on the right hand.
We saw this before. The victim in the casino.
All right. Gordon, putting 2 and 2 together. What do we got?
Special Agent Mario Fernandez.
Holy crap. He's one of Waller's.
Missing a shoe?
One shoe is missing.
The sole of the other one's almost completely melted through.
Man, they gave him a serious working over here.
That's a hell of an invitation.
Riddler's playing games.
Bet he tried to play along.
We can learn from his mistakes. Let's find out what he did wrong.
All right. I'm into this. Inspect the evidence of the crimes. Oh yeah, we're gonna link some stuff here. Let's find out. Items tagged with the link can be linked to related items to theorize a connection. There we go. All right, open safe.
Inside.
And a lot of blood. Huh. We know Riddler likes penalizing his victims for wrong answers.
Captain Planet and the Planeteers. Pretty good. Did he make all these mistakes at the same time and lose his body parts in one moment? I'm definitely picturing some kind of a slapstick situation of, you know, stumbling from one horrific
Safes with electronic locks.
accident to another.
Shut tight.
These must be the goal of whatever game we're playing.
Alright, so we got eyes with
Masks.
mouths, ears, and eyes covered.
Each one missing a different facial feature.
Yeah.
The senses. They're missing their senses.
Like the monkey statues.
You're right. There must be a connection.
Yeah. Kind of fun to get to do this with Gordon. Booby trap, sharp blade inside, blood everywhere. I mean, we can presumably link this to his missing fingers. Yeah.
The agent must have been looking for the answer in one of these safes.
He chose the wrong one. Cost him his fingers.
He chose poorly. So he lost his fingers and then melted his foot and got dunked on the head.
Metal mesh lining the walls.
I don't like the look of this.
Murderers converted this entire place into a giant Faraday cage.
Faraday what?
An enclosure designed to block electromagnetic fields. No signals in or out.
Guess it explains why our phones aren't getting signals. Clever son of a bitch.
So does that mean you could, like, I don't know, cut this wire and get a signal? I don't know. I guess I'll defer to Batman's expertise on that.
Used on Mori. The armor, extremely sturdy, ensuring there's no possible way to open them other than solving his riddles.
Cutting open the power box
This
seemed
is
to
an
work, though.
insane way to commit crimes, even for this city.
Death chamber.
Another one of Riddler's sick contraptions.
Some kind of murder box, I guess. Well, he was always a wacko, but this takes it to a new level.
Yeah, like, I'm not super into this whole Saw version of Riddler. I think I mean, I think it's more appropriate than the Riddler of Arkham Knight, who builds fucking racetracks and combat robots.
The glass. It's polarized.
so it is.
But I prefer Riddler to be more like, not harmless exactly, but not as overtly murderous and violent.
It's still warm. There must be some kind of heating element underneath.
This
Like, I
thing's
feel like
built like an oven.
he's
It'd be cooked alive in there.
From my perspective, the kind of the way I think of the character, he's kind of above violence, I guess, like more about proving his intellectual superiority. And this seems like such a crude way of doing that, I guess.
Must be locked in place.
But, you know, it makes for some...
Turn me round, but not the right way, and you might live to see another day.
What does it mean?
Like I said, it makes for like a puzzly... an excuse to put interesting puzzles like this. I mean, you could take out the gruesome murder aspect and still have puzzles, of course, but... like, I'm willing to overlook what I might thematically disagree with if it makes for fun video game stuff.
That's an agency issue pistol. Packs a hell of a jolt.
Oh yeah, they had
Saw
like the
taking out
electric
Riddler's
guns.
goons at the casino. It was impressive.
Gotta give it to Waller. Her people have great tech.
Game's going so far to turn Joker into a secondary character. So far reaches for someone like the Riddler as expected. Yeah, it kind of cuts both ways, doesn't it? The whole putting their own stamp on things. It's kind of bound to have its
Well,
hits and
that's the
misses.
same kind of body cam the GCPD issues its officers.
Maybe there's a clue on the recording.
Can't hurt to look.
I think for the most part, I liked the takes on most of the characters in the first season.
I'm giving you a chance your other comrades won't get. A chance at getting out of this alive.
We'll catch you. The agency, they'll find...
I shouldn't have to remind you that you've been chasing me for years. And I've always been 2 steps ahead. If you win the game, I'll let you go free. And you'll get a consolation prize. An exclusive sneak peek into how I'm going to kill all of your colleagues. Now, how is that for
What a perk.
motivation? Screw you!
He had the agent bound while he beat him.
I feel like it's I don't know, I guess I'm so used to everything centering around the Joker, and I feel like at this rate I'm more used to takes on these characters that I'm not particularly fond of.
I'm starting to sense a
That whenever something like is actually done well or like to my preferences, it's always like a welcome surprise kind of. So if one are, you know, even though the Riddler is maybe my favorite Batman villain, so it's like, if there's anyone I would love to see them do in a way I loved, it would be him. I can still overlook it with no great problems because I still think all the scenes with Catwoman in season 1 was awesome, I think, and Harvey Dent was great too.
Must belong to poor Cinderella over there.
And I'm like, even with all the Lady Arkham stuff being really kind of shit in the first season, it doesn't necessarily bog down, like, because there's so many story threads that run in parallel. Even though they're connected, you can kind of look at the individual storylines of characters like the Penguin and Harvey Dent, and really, I thought they were really well done. That those in and of themselves are not really brought down by what I didn't like about Lady Arkham. And there's still
Scratches on the monitor. The polarizing filter has been
parts that I like and the characters that I like.
Monitors typically have a polarizing filter to reduce.
So I'm willing to overlook parts that I
Possibly
don't like or
see
characterizations that I'm not too fond of.
Look at it through a polarized lens.
Because I trust that there's going to be other stuff that I like. I mean, Batman himself and Bruce Wayne, I think I'd like them/him in these games for sure. By and large, there's more to like than to dislike in these games, in my mind.
We'll be looking right at those monitors. Since the monitors have been tampered with, it's likely there's a message on it. One that can only be seen with a polarized lens.
You won't know until you're inside the box, though.
So, do polarizing filters only work like one way? Can I look through the porthole?
How careful Riddler is, chances are good he hasn't scrubbed his own computer.
Good call. It's worth checking out.
Like, what happened if I stood behind that porthole and looked through it the other way? Like, yeah, I don't know much about it, but I feel like that's probably the case. But I feel like you should still be able to finagle that some way to kind of not have to lock yourself in.
What does it say? Riddler's not working alone.
Just wonderful. More psychos to worry about.
He and his colleagues, they don't see eye to eye. Apparently, they don't like his beef with me.
Hey, maybe we'll get lucky. They'll kill each other.
Yeah, yeah. I know there's a lot of stuff you can do with polarizing filters and stuff. That makes sense. You and I went at it all game with your game's attention. Blah 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 blah. H to E. What's that then? Arms dealer email?
Mori. He sold technology to Riddler.
Talk about strange bedfellows. You know, Waller's been keeping pretty tight tabs on Mori for a while now. She must have known.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that Waller would keep stuff from us.
I recognize some of the names on this list. They're all Waller's people. Names, addresses, phone numbers. We have to warn her.
First, we have to get out of here.
Riddler's got the fucking knock list. Okay. Is there anything else to look at here? Body cam. Statues, gun. No, it doesn't look like it. Oh yeah, we can connect the shoe to the floor. Okay.
The floor of the box heated up while the agent was inside. He tried standing on one foot to save the other, causing that shoe to catch on fire. When he exited the box, he tried to put the fire out, but couldn't. So he threw off his shoe.
You got a VR in that cowl or something?
Something like that.
Pretty much, yeah. All right.
I've got all the pieces of Riddler's puzzle. Now I need to know what order they happened in.
Okay, well, we're gonna look here, I guess. Link the events in the correct order. Interesting. This was never a thing before. So, clearly, he was in the box before this happened. I mean, as far as my recording goes, he still has his fingers, but I don't know if that's to be trusted. But I would assume he got in the box to read a clue on the monitors as to which safe he's supposed to open. I guess the only thing that's a little unclear is what actually killed him. Because I don't think the fingers... I mean, he got severe head trauma or whatever over here. So I'm going to say that he decided to play along, went inside the box. You saw Riddler's message on the monitors. Entered the chamber to play Riddler's sick game. Stomped his melted shoe off. Then went for the... Yeah, actually, he doesn't have his shoe on here. So I guess that's a bit of a spoiler.
The agent woke up here where his body cam fell off. Once he found he couldn't call for help, he saw the message on the monitors. He willingly put himself inside the murder box.
Murder box. Death chamber / murder box.
The agent's shoe caught fire inside the murder box, so he opened it in a panic. As soon as he was out of the box, he ripped off the burning shoe and threw it. Somewhere in the confusion, he must have missed something crucial.
Alright, well then he opened the wrong safe over here.
From where he lost a shoe, the agent beelined for the wall of safes. He opened one, but chose poorly.
He did choose poorly.
The blade
So,
sliced off his
alright,
fingers.
how does Batman know that he ran over there? I don't know.
Though
Oh yeah,
it's still unclear how and when his eardrums could have burst.
It's just like some
The
super
agent made a number of
death
mistakes.
speaker.
Mistakes we can avoid. The heat inside the box forced him to run out before he
could get Riddler's next clue.
Hmm.
Poor bastard couldn't withstand the heat.
The Batsuit's armor is heat resistant. It'll buy me more time to find Riddler's next clue.
Struggling just to count the ways Riddler's jigsaw does not work for me. Yeah, I think it's...
The only way we're getting out of here.
This is insane. You know that, right? The last man who went in there is dead. There's a good chance it'll kill you too.
Any mistake could be my last.
I can, I can see it. I don't agree with it, I guess.
Wow, when you put it like that.
But,
let's win this game.
But we'll see where it goes, I guess.
Heat's rising, Batman.
Oh, turn. Wait, what? Look up.
Ah, wrong way. That's what that agent did.
Okay, good thing he... Oh.
Get a grip up real good, you don't get a move on.
The controls are a little strange. I have to, like, look down here.
I'm not kidding, Batman.
Okay.
I can almost make out a message.
Oh! What's the holdup? There we go.
One won't see trouble and one tells no lies. Ask the third if he hides the prize.
The monkeys. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. But which one is he referring to?
Whichever one it is, the correct safe will have a face with those senses removed.
Yeah, I'll check.
Man, I was in such a hurry with the controls there.
Still locked shut.
They should unlock when I open this door.
One won't see... Fuck's sake. Alright. Did I just die? Okay. I guess so. Can't believe Batman's fucking dead. Okay, sure. Let's try that again.
It'll buy me more time to find Riddler.
I was like more confused about the
Getting inside the box and
controls than... I didn't really even have time to get confused by the riddle because the controls were too confusing.
You know that, right?
Anyway.
The last man who went in there is dead. There's a good chance it'll kill you too.
This is different too. Actually, I guess I can't say I won't fail with confidence because we actually did fail last time.
Be able to do this without you.
Let's go with the same choice here.
When you put it like that, let's win this game.
But honestly, like, I feel like...
Heat's rising, Batman.
Do I? Okay. I have to let go, hold the button again, and then tilt it.
Almost make out a message.
Then I have to wait for him to talk, and then I hold A, and then hold... No? Yeah, okay.
One won't see trouble and one tells no lies. Ask the third if he hides the prize.
The monkeys. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. But which one is he referring to?
Whichever one it is, the correct safe will have a face with those senses removed.
Yeah, I'll check. Ah, damn it. It's still locked shut.
They should unlock when I open this door.
Okay, yep, there's the death speakers.
Congratulations! You're almost done. That is, if you can withstand my short-range ultrasonic device. Let's test it out, shall we?
The riddle! Use it to open the safe! I'll put a stop to this damn noise!
Like, I don't remember the clue. Can't see, can't tell, lies. Third one. No ears. I guess. I'm turning. Press X to Batman. Oh. I like I could have done that first.
Damn.
I don't know.
Oh, for the love of God, whatever's in that safe better be worth all this pain.
Wait, I'm not gonna stick my fucking hand in there. Can I use my drone or something? Okay, never mind. I'll just stick my hand in there.
It's a homing missile.
What does it home in on?
Looking at its schematics now. A signal. A radio signal. A signal. That's how he died.
How who died?
That's how they'll all die.
Riddler.
Maury sold me missiles for all of my enemies. Everyone on my list gets one. Most won't even know what's coming. For a brief second, their dull existences will light up before going dark forever.
I'm closing in on you, Riddler. We escaped your twisted puzzle. It's only a matter of time before I find you.
Time is one thing you don't have. I'm trying to get a handle on you, Batman. Partnering with Gordon is one thing. From what I remember of the old days, he's harmless enough.
Yeah, we'll see about that when you're in cuffs.
But the agency, they're a natural enemy to people like you and me. You must be desperate if you're making friends with
People
them.
like you and me, huh?
You must be really up against the ropes to want that government scum in your corner.
Whatever the agency is, you are worse. You're the one torturing and killing innocents.
You think any of these agents are innocent? The agency uses people, Batman. Corrupts them, breaks their minds. I wasn't always like this. The agency made me.
Oh, this is garbage. Yeah, Waller's a hard ass, sure, but she had nothing to do with why he's so messed up.
I didn't say Waller, did I? This goes way before her time. But I don't forget. That's the thing about having a mind like mine. You remember everything. Even the things you'd rather not.
Save your sob story for jail. I'm not interested.
You think I want sympathy? This is my city. I was running things in Gotham before you could walk. I just wanted to see where the man who doesn't compromise actually draws his lines. But then, you already answered that for me, didn't you? When you offloaded my puzzle on your friend. Why don't you tell Gordon here what happened to Lucius Fox? Watch out, Commissioner. For
Gordon's
all his
spooked
preaching,
face.
Batman knows when to sacrifice a pawn to win the game. It was a smart move. Getting out of the way of the blast. Something only a pragmatist would do.
Don't you dare put your crimes on me.
Press B to Batman.
Come on, Batman. I gave the puzzle to you, didn't I? It's not my fault you couldn't solve it. Look at Gordon. He doesn't know what to make of any of it. Trust is hard-earned, yet easily lost, isn't it? Come on now. Don't get your tights in a twist. I knew you weren't sharp enough to do it on purpose. There's no room at the top for schoolboys who are too squeamish to fight in the gutter. You don't have what it takes to be a player in this town. Not without giving up those values you hold so dear. Game on!
Riddler's the Joker. I mean, I wouldn't say that, but I do appreciate the idea of like not having the Joker be the ultimate mastermind who runs the entire city.
Riddler knows about every agency operative in Gotham.
I don't blame her. If they were my cops, no one would be sleeping till we found this Riddler guy.
Just keep your eyes open, Jim. In the meantime, I'll stay on Riddler's tail.
Hey, hold up a sec. What Riddler said in there about the agency, smoke and mirrors, you ask me. But the thing about Lucius Fox and the blast at Wayne Tower, you gotta level with me. You got some connection with that Wayne Tech guy you didn't tell me about?
Lucius Fox was an ally of mine. That got him killed.
I gotta say, the fact I had to learn about it from Riddler instead of you, it doesn't sit right with me at all. I thought we had some trust, you and I. What do you expect me to do with this? Am I just supposed to sit on my hands? Pretend I never heard any of it?
You are your own man, Jim. You'll come to your own decision.
I mean, I wasn't born yesterday.
Your relationship has changed. It's such a strange.
You probably have a network of civilians working for you. You can't do the kinds of things you do without a gigantic support system. Oh, to hell with it. I never heard what I heard in there. All right? Batman.
Not even a thanks. Yeah.
I'm sorry for your loss.
I'm glad they're close enough that he doesn't have to force Gordon to turn around so he can disappear. Yeah, like, I think... At least the way what we've seen of the Riddler, it doesn't get into the same territory of, you know, building up giant weird armies and having unexplained endless resources and that kind of stuff. At least not to any crazy extent. But yeah, it seems strange to me that like morals is kind of what he's about, because it seems that doesn't seem what the character normally is, right? The fact
I heard
that
your discussion with Commissioner Gordon. Now he knows that Lucius Fox and the Batman were allies. Gordon's dangerously close to figuring out who you are. If he does find out, I have no idea how he'll react. It's not a chance you can afford to take.
He looked me straight in the eye, Alfred. He's been our friend a long time. He deserves to know.
I understand that, Bruce, but he's still too close for comfort. I'm sorry, but he is. You were radio silent for so long. Tell me, did you find out how Lucius died?
This is a missile I found in Riddler's workshop. The explosion at Wayne Tower. We were thinking about it all wrong. The puzzle wasn't an explosive. It was an emitter. When it was solved, it emitted a signal. You heard it earlier. If allowed to play too long, it becomes a launch signal.
Dear God! You did solve the box. We just didn't know it.
The Batcave scrambler blocked the signal.
Poor Lucius. Wayne Tower offered no such protections. Our tight little family has gotten smaller because of it. It was the three of us looking out for each other. Now it's two.
First beat a Batman.
We can't indulge in despair, Alfred. We simply don't have time for it.
Yes, you're right, of course, Bruce. I'm sorry. Between the Lady Arkham affair and losing Lucius in this gruesome fashion, this war of ours is taking its toll.
Sure is. Fucking everyone's dying off way too quick. We need a couple of Robins or Batgirls or something.
He plans to do the same thing to them.
It's a hit list. It's only useful if he has a way to target the agents, though. And I doubt he's sending them all puzzle boxes. Hold on, let's just walk through it.
But I love this shit. Just like ruminating on where we're at and what's going on. I mean, I agree that the whole Jigsaw take on the Riddler feels kind of wrong. Like I said, it feels more. I can like accept it more than the theme park racetrack robot building Riddler. It feels more, more related to Riddler than that. He is clearly like, intelligent, but to me, my sort of view of the character is that is his obsession. Like they characterize him in a reasonable way in the Arkham games about his obsession with proving his intellectual superiority over the Batman or whatever. He just goes about it in a very strange way with racetracks and robots and dumb toys. But here it's kind of the opposite. Like his methods are at least somewhat more aligned, even if they're motivated by something that feels kind of out of tune for the character. But I think still having the Riddler be the sort of fulcrum for this kind of investigation and figuring out the relationship between things and as far as how he is used in the story, I definitely like this a lot better.
He's hacked their cell phones. He could pinpoint the location of any one of these operatives.
The issue with the Riddler in the Arkham games is that he was only able to express his desire via game mechanics, and being what they are, the mechanics were underwhelming. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't think it's a mystery per se. I think I'm glad they were able to incorporate the Riddler the way they did, but I think in the first game in particular, it felt less contrived. It's like more with each game how the Riddler stuff became more and more contrived because they kind of had to build on it. And I mean, in Night, especially with the racetracks and stuff, and how you're forced to go through with all that nonsense to get the real ending. Like, there's a lot of things that becomes a bother that makes you kind of not appreciate it. So, I mean, I agree. I think he's just a type of villain. I mean, if you look at so many other games, like the animated series-based games and stuff, the Riddler is always like, I'm not sure if there was an episode of the show where the Riddler created a virtual reality something, but it's like every time the Riddler shows up in those games, I feel like it's always just an excuse to create a video game virtual reality level. It's really nothing to do with the character beyond that. So I think he's a type of villain that is a much better fit for this style of a game. Like you say, like this type of the gameplay mechanics for something like this is much better.
And he can broadcast his signal through their phone to make them a target of a missile strike.
The Riddler's villainy is much better served by these types of game mechanics.
Can you block it?
If I can get a clean copy of the signal, yes.
But I think different villains have different sort of strengths and weaknesses.
Clean version of the signal.
But at the same,
pretty grim, Alfred.
It's at the same time, like I think it's kind of true for most characters that like letting them express themselves and sort of breathe.
I've never been one to shy away from duty, however unpleasant it may be.
You are a rock, Alfred.
Some characters lose more by not having this narrative,
even in the toughest times.
The last thing I
focus
want to do
than
is
others.
let you down.
All right. Anyway.
Bruce, get my daughter out of the building. Get yourself out.
What are you talking? What did you figure out?
I've solved the Riddler's puzzle, Bruce.
He knew he was going to die. Can you switch to audio only, please?
Seems like might have been a good idea.
Tell Tiffany that I love her. That I'm sorry I wasn't around more.
Lucius?
We really made a difference, didn't we? Batman?
I shouldn't have watched this. I'll go get that tea, Master Bruce.
All right.
Alfred will remember that.
Just need to create a filter to get a clean version of the signal, and then match up the points found in both sound files.
So do I. Okay.
Tiffany. Tiffany.
That's a match.
Okay, so they're linked. Bruce appeared, I think. Yep. Whoa.
Bruce.
The waveforms match.
Amazing.
There. I've piggybacked onto Riddler's cell phone hack. They'll recognize any incoming signal match and shut down, negating a launch.
That was simple
Makes
enough.
sense for me to have the signal on me as well.
What for?
Riddler still has functioning missiles. Once he finds out I've blocked his targets, he may decide to launch indiscriminately. But with the signal, I might be able to divert them. Tiffany gave me this the day Lucius died. Let's put it to good work.
So when are we bringing her into the fold anyway?
It's not a theory I really want to test.
So we had better find Riddler first. There is always Riddler's second in command. Eli Nabel, arrested after his attack on the casino. None of the authorities have gotten anything out of him yet.
Unknown contact.
What is it?
That John guy from the funeral, from Arkham. Who actually sounds like he's keeping his word. Mori, huh? John thinks that Mori can get us Riddler's location.
Do you believe him?
Maybe we should go back to the beginning. Bring Rumi Mori up on the back computer. Either of them could potentially lead me to him.
The question is, which is more likely to help you?
All right. Okay. We're not making a choice just yet, I guess.
Riddler's lieutenant.
Eli Nabel. Took a go at me in the casino. Put up quite a fight.
Cracking him will be tougher, more physical. Certainly a job for Batman. He's currently in Waller's custody in a GCPD holding cell. Interrogating Nabel there would be a visible endorsement of Waller's authority. Gordon won't like it.
I see. I like how Alfred is very clearly outlining all the relationship implications here.
Mori's a businessman. Given the right incentive, he could be persuaded to talk. He sure can't have any love for Riddler after his attempted murder at the casino.
I'd say he'd respond better to a more genteel approach, peer-to-peer as Bruce Wayne. However, the agency is watching him. If Waller finds out that Bruce Wayne sought a parley with Mori, she'll not be best pleased.
Yeah, but she's like not gonna be pleased anyway, right? I feel like I can play along if it's like whatever, but in this case I feel like I gotta go with Mori, right? And what if you can un-Jokerize the Joker? For some reason I read that as unionize. I wonder if you can unionize the Joker. It's like, oh yeah. Yeah, it's like I feel like this is the I guess you pick Eli if you want to be the cool, tough Batman, but it's Mori seems like the obvious choice in terms of whose feathers you are more concerned about not ruffling, you know? You're kind of, in a sense, walking on eggshells around Waller, where she's bound to be upset about something, you know, arbitrary one way or the other. And yeah, like, I'd rather take what comes with that than deliberately wedge something further between Batman and Gordon. And also, like, being a angry Batman punch dudes, it's like, nah. We've done that in 63 other games. Let's go for Mori.
I'll meet with Mori. I'm sure Bruce Wayne can find a way to reason with him.
I feel like we've actually spent a lot more time being Batman in this game, in this episode at least, than in the first game. Anyway, so I don't mind doing a little Bruce action. So this is the final chapter, I reckon. And we're probably having kind of a similar thing to the previous season where the first episode is the longest. That would not surprise me.
Waller's people are here, watching Mori. Riddler's agency data should make him easy to tag. I need you to keep an eye on him for me. Maybe cause a distraction if I need it.
But it's also possible that it's just a little longer than the first one, I guess. Kind of curious how this inventory mechanic is supposed to play out, because it hasn't really been a thing yet. Alright, well.
They're following his every move.
Let's inspect.
Gotta be careful here.
Guy looks tough.
All this attention must be annoying to a man like Mori.
I see them.
All of these agents were on Riddler's list. Even without access to their phones, he'll still try to kill them all somehow.
Do whatever it takes to find him, Bruce. I never want to see another video like the one with Lucius.
No time to waste.
Mr. Wayne, to what do we owe this honor?
Good evening, Mr. Mori. I've come to talk.
Your visit is unexpected, Mr. Wayne. What can I do for you? A private matter between friends.
We have a mutual enemy, Mori. He can't.
Let's try to speak this guy's language, right?
I have many enemies, Mr. Wayne. I am sure we share more than one.
You know the one I mean.
The authorities are watching my every move. Apparently, I'm a person of interest. There's really not much I can offer you, other than a drink and a seat at the roulette wheel. Not while I'm being shadowed.
Alright, press X to Batman.
We need privacy. Lose the agents.
Done. They just got an order to sweep the perimeter. Should give you a couple of minutes at least.
Impressive, Mr. Wayne.
We haven't even scratched the surface.
What can I do for you?
Information. About the Riddler.
Why would I do that?
You're on his list, Mori. He's gonna hit you with the same weapons you sold him. You and a lot of other people.
I dealt with that maniac. It's true. But I was done after the first delivery.
Maybe you're done.
Riddler wanted more.
He's not.
Everything he could get his hands on. He even wanted me to hand over one of my biotech companies. I said no.
That's why he attacked you.
You have no idea how crazy he is. I only wish I had known it sooner.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. I have a pretty good idea.
Pretty good idea.
I see that you do. He scared me. I was afraid he'd use my goods in the city. After the explosion at Wayne Enterprises, it turns out I was right. I want you to know, I had no idea the Riddler had marked you as a target. I knew your father back when he was running Gotham.
I like how everyone is very casually, oh yeah, Thomas Wayne, you know, I ran the criminal empire.
He was a friend, truly one of a kind.
Alright, then you owe me one.
Then you owe me, for my father's sake.
That was a long time ago, and favors go both ways. I can help you find the Riddler, Mr. Wayne. I sold him the missile array he's using to pick off his enemies. He won't be very far from it. Everything you need to find him is on that drive. But I need a favor from you first.
A favor?
Alright, it's gonna be good.
Paula has me detained here pending Riddler's trial. She controls all my accounts. I need to get out of the country, and in all haste. You can help with that.
Oh boy.
Otherwise, I fear my fate is a short, miserable life in a black prison. Somewhere deeply unpleasant.
I don't know, man. That's a bit...
It's simple. A chartered plane waits for me at the airport. The pilot will fly me to a safe haven in the Caribbean for the right price. All you have to do is authorize a transfer. You don't want me as an enemy, Mr. Wayne.
So that's where we're at, huh?
Agency friends will be back any second.
Oh, so we're gonna take... Okay,
and without
okay.
disturbance. Everyone gets what they want.
No deal.
I guess we're doing this.
This could have been a lot easier for you, Maury.
You should kill me, Wayne, because I won't forget.
Bruce, Waller's agents are converging. Hurry up and get out of there.
Yeah, it's like, it's still, you know...
Alfred, I've sent you Maury's information.
I'd rather have Bruce Wayne put another crosshair on himself than actually make shady dealings with fucking crime lords, you know? Yeah, I can take it. Like, that's worth it. Like, that didn't go super great, but there's no way I could have actually agreed to like, I would rather have left the drive and just walked away.
This must be it.
But if that wasn't an option, actually agreeing to the deal, like, nah, that ain't happening. Yeah, as far as the hijacking the agent phones, I don't know. I guess Alfred did some hacking. It's fine.
Be careful, Bruce.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
The Riddler has up his sleeve.
All right, we get another little action set piece. Are we gonna actually just confront the Riddler here? Yeah, it's definitely like the first episode of season 1, where it's like we're past like the second or third point where I would have assumed that it would end, and it still hasn't. This is like even longer than the first one.
I'm on board, Al.
Do you see Riddler?
You won't get away with this. What do you think's gonna happen? Noise again, are we? Agent. What was your name? Blake?
I hear him. Need to get a better angle.
You'll see what's gonna happen. My friends will all be here soon. Then you'll see what this is all in aid of.
We found him.
You agency imbeciles really...
Maury's information turned out to be accurate.
Waller.
No sight of the missiles yet, though.
They must be here somewhere.
Congratulations. All your idiot colleagues, too.
All right, we'll just keep holding up.
It's hard to blame
Hostages.
They appear to be more of Waller's agents.
Yep.
A good spot for cover.
All right, let's take cover. All right, yeah, you can only move in one direction. Like, it doesn't really. It's like not really that interactive. It's not really any. There's no decision making. You just hold up to have the animation play.
Don't want him raising an alarm. I'll move when he isn't looking.
After all, I am uniquely qualified to see the big picture. It's often a struggle making people see that. I'm sure you can understand.
Okay. I assumed that I was going to stand behind the container, but I guess I took half a second too long to press up and X. And this is something I was going to comment on before, like when we died in the death box.
This must be it.
That I feel like,
Be careful, Bruce.
given that, like,
What the Riddler has up his sleeve.
the narrative stuff, the narrative decision making, the branching paths are like a lot of smoke and mirrors. I feel like, although I guess it can be amusing to have like death scenes like that, not that that one was particularly amazing, but you know, there could be funny death scenes or whatever, sure. But I still feel like having to redo this takes me out of the experience so much that I really think the game would, like, I don't think the game benefits from having these, like, action sequences having fail states. Like, if you think about the takedown stuff where you choose which takedown to do, like in the first season we planned out these assaults or whatever. Those were fun and cool, and you can get into character of like thinking about it, which way is going to be more effective and whatever, and you don't intend to fail, and from the storytelling perspective, like,
They appear to be more of Waller's agents.
failing to do something and having to deal with the repercussions, like, that could be interesting, but having it flat out just be a fail state and you stop and you do something over, yeah, I think it's a little misguided. I don't think, like, I'm 100% guaranteed to not be invested in this little part that I now have to redo. So, it's... yeah, it doesn't benefit. Alright, there we go. Like, if fucking that up led to a different sequence or something, that could have been cool, but... or, you know, have the freeze frame so you have infinite time to do it. Like, that would be goofy, but I would still take that over the frustration of having to redo it and feel like you're being taken out of the experience. Because I feel like who would, in their right mind, play this and complain about it being too easy? You know, it's because it's not about the challenge. Or it shouldn't be, in my opinion.
I'd keep your mouths shut until then.
Hostages first. When they're safe, I can find the missiles. Targeting online now.
Or, like, if there's a fail state, and you redo it, redo it from exactly that point. Like, don't force the player to redo the minute leading up to it. That's kind of the shitty part. Because if you just redo it immediately, like, then it's much less of a bother. Yeah, and I agree, like, having it be in the middle of this exciting thing is
You can't possibly
worse,
think
for sure.
a few heads is enough to make me roll over.
Alright, we're gonna just pause it. Yep.
Oversized vermin.
Can I not do that with his stick?
Batman! Batman!
Alright, let's
Agent Avesta.
cut the power box.
It's heating up.
These controls are weird. I don't like these, like, hold a button, then hold a direction.
Thanks, Batman.
Alright, the other guys?
Are you all right?
Of course.
Oh, God. Not more.
I feel like you'd be able to squeeze through there, but maybe not. Oh, okay, maybe not. It looked like the holes were pretty wide.
Device.
I've memorized your playbook, Batman. I know all your
They're definitely, the holes are definitely wide enough for him to shoot the grapple thing at him and just fucking slamming him against the
incapable of
cage.
learning his lesson. I knew he'd lead you to me eventually.
But I guess we gotta let the villain have his monologue.
Part of the plan.
The missiles.
Bait. Just like the hostages were bait. I knew you couldn't bear to let these agents die. You care too much about the little people. That makes you weak. I saw how you saved Maury.
It's not weak to value
I saw
life.
how angry you got about what happened to Fox.
Don't think my compassion means I won't hurt you.
Okay, that's not what I thought I would say, but
I won't beat you within an inch of your
yikes!
life.
That's
Hard to do that when you're in a cage.
not what I thought I would
harder
say.
When you're dead. My partners were supposed to be here to see this. I guess I can just show them the bodies. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Get them wrong, one of these agents gets torn apart.
You won't get away with this.
You get them right, this happens. I designed this for you, Batman. The hero who doesn't have to compromise will die knowing he couldn't save everyone. Let's get started. We have a lot to get through. I'm curious to see how you'll handle it all. Well, I can't make you, of course. But people will die if you don't, including the agent next to you. You can handle the sonic blasts. But her, I estimate 3 blasts at most before her insides rupture.
But like again, I have fucking a billion gadgets. I could take him out through the bars.
Close to the heart. I solved a puzzle box for the bat. Now I'm dead. And I mean dismembered. Closed casket for sure, kind of dead. Who am I?
If you know the answer, please say it. My colleagues will die otherwise.
Speak up, Batman. Which one of your dead friends am I?
Lucius.
What was that? I couldn't hear you.
Lucius Fox.
Very good, Batman.
I don't know. I think this is just like
saved a life.
stupid.
But
Thank you.
Like the logistics of the scene
Don't
is
answer any more of his questions. No,
contrived.
I won't let you die.
But I also think this is such a like
Number 2,
edgy
also completely
shit that's just like,
I am black and blue
and it's a weird thing for the Riddler.
Who am I?
I think he means me. Say it.
Don't you dare answer that.
Please, don't let him die. Say it.
I need an answer. Or click, click, click.
You're too clever for me, Riddler. I don't know how to answer.
Finally, some humility from you. It's a shame it's not what I'm looking for.
No.
Avesta, please! Please!
Blake! Oh my God, Blake!
Enough, Riddler. You've made your point.
Just one more, Batman. And then it'll all be over.
I'll distract him. Just get us out of here.
I'm the sharpest mind you'll ever meet. The
But now he
original
can
genius
do
with
something.
Gotham at my feet. Who am I?
You're Riddler. Riddler's the genius.
Well done, Agent. You answered so quickly, you almost deserve not to get the blast.
What am I doing here? It's saving. Alright, so we're linking this to that.
I'll fire one of the missiles.
Okay, well.
Use the Batcam to make it target the cage.
Put her in there.
Use Riddler's trap to protect Iman and myself from the explosion.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Like,
What you're saying, Agent Avesta, but you're not the one I need to hear.
It's yeah.
Missile armed, ready to fire.
And I'm also kind of surprised. I mean, I guess I don't know for a fact, but I assume that I could have saved the other guy, and this would have played out exactly like this anyway. Which means that was flat out like the wrong move, which I'm surprised by a little bit.
Now, I want to hear it from you.
I am.
What are you doing?
That's a pretty good face from her, though. Oh yeah, the whole like sort of horror and like the life and death scenario.
No, 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 no!
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, I don't like the Riddler's motivations. I think is just. Yeah, not a big fan. And like the whole extremeness of these situations, it's a little contrived.
You think you're clever, don't you? You don't impress me.
What happened to his fighting skills? I thought he was better at fighting than Batman. But I guess right now it's convenient for him to not be able to put up a fight at all.
Who's got no time left?
The Riddler.
Thought you'd get such an easy one right.
Also, his staff has one button that does everything.
The answer is Batman.
Good thing that wasn't damaged in the explosion.
Oh no. This can't be happening.
All right. I'm just somewhat curious. Like, I feel like just even like going back to when I died and had to redo stuff, like that kind of took me out of it, and I never really quite got into the groove after that. So I'm curious, like how this could have
Blake
played
and
out
I
differently.
tracked Riddler's ship through the Port Authority logs. We thought we could bring him in ourselves. Riddler snatched us straight off the docks.
Like, would she
should've
have
said no.
behaved
Urged caution.
differently if I
now-
got the second riddle right?
And now my colleagues are... All we did was hand Riddler more hostages. We only made things worse.
You
The other
can't
guy's
punish
still alive,
yourself for
right?
Their loss. None of this is your fault.
Thank you, Batman.
Did we just forget about the other guy?
Despite the cost. At least we've got Riddler in custody.
It's
Yeah,
over,
like
Riddler.
the grisly violence.
Look forward to a padded cell.
Yeah, like I
Is
said,
this
it just
really
feels like edgy and
Batman? You're the one in cuffs.
But you're the one
yeah, the
that
kind of
broke
shock
your
values.
precious
It
rule.
just doesn't really work
You
for
let
me.
one agent die to save another. Well, that can't sit right with you. Can it? Must be an uncomfortable feeling.
This entire twisted situation is your doing, Riddler. All blame is on you. And so are the consequences.
Is it? You came at me, remember? Not the other way around. I pushed the Batman to his limits. Tested his precious code. And my comrades would have been impressed. I set this all up to show them. I thought they'd back me up, even if they didn't agree. They left me here to deal with you alone. They betrayed me.
Your comrades thought you went too far. I saw their messages. They were afraid your stunts would get my attention. They were right.
They'll regret this. All of them. Unless that white-faced prick set me up. Never told them to meet me here.
It's dead now too. All right. Of course, everyone dies because it's edgy and dark and adult.
They broke.
Oh, it's a little tiresome.
The pact.
It feels like kind of a cheap trick, right? Like these like life and death situations and the grisly violence. I feel like it's the first season. Like everything that was at its best was when like that was as far away as possible. Like I don't know. It's I'm definitely. Disagreeing with that, like
is he? Oh, God damn it! Oh, this isn't good, Batman. The investigation is a dead end without a breathing suspect. We're in trouble. A lot of trouble. I have no idea how we're getting out of it.
You don't have to worry, Jim. I'll take the heat for this.
I appreciate the thought, but that ain't gonna cut it.
I press B to Batman.
Waller is gonna come down on us like a thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt? I'm the whole goddamn hurricane. I'm about to blow both your asses off the side of this ship. This is a goddamn mess. Agent Blake is dead. Riddler is dead. And I don't know exactly how. But I know you tampered with my suspect at the casino. Unless you expect me to believe that Maury's new neck brace is a fashion statement. Batman is clearly being misused as an asset to the GCPD.
All right, because she would have come here and yell at us for letting him escape or whatever. Otherwise,
What?
so I'm fine
Gordon,
with
you're
that.
being relieved of your stars. bumped down to deputy ops.
I'm perfectly fine with the Riddler.
I just did. Don't like it? Go cry to the governor.
Gordon's been fighting the good fight for years.
I'm fine with this being like a build-up that sort of just sets the stage for the real plot to get started.
You're so busy gazing into each other's eyes.
But yeah, everyone having to die off feels...
Take some vacation days, Gordon. I've got sensitive case details to discuss with Batman.
We're still in this together, Batman. This doesn't change a thing.
We'll see how things go. I still think there's plenty of room for the plot to go interesting directions.
This city is about to find itself in a crisis the likes of which it's never known. Riddler had a crew. Not just any crew. The worst criminal minds from all over the world, here in Gotham. You come across anything about them? I'm assuming you've heard of them by now. Let me know if you have anything to share.
There's a guy, calls himself John Doe. He's either a member or he knows who is.
That confirms some theories we had. Doe's a one-time patient of another member of the group. Dr. Harleen Quinzel, former psychiatrist at Arkham Asylum. She's very elusive. Keeps her head down. Much more so than that show-off Riddler. He was going to be my way in once we captured him alive. But now I have you to lean on. A man who lives on both sides of the line.
Habitual line stepper, Batman?
Cross it. Yes. You and I will be working together very closely.
Is that so?
Bruce Wayne.
I like that ending. I mean, that's like a fun little twist, right? I think, I mean, it became pretty clear to me. I don't know anything about the plot, but I know, I mean, I've seen screenshots. I know some characters who will appear later. The idea of building up this sort of crime syndicate, whatever. And I like the idea of this episode essentially being like a prologue. And I'm not sure if like each episode will be like that. It will be more like standalone sort of. I mean, it's going to be one coherent plot, of course, but like having each episode focus on one villain or something. I don't know. I don't. That's not what I expect. But I think that's also one of the reasons where I think there was a lot to kind of disagree with in terms of where the plot went with the Riddler and the whole Jigsaw death trap. Like, yeah, there's a lot of things there I didn't really like. But I think it feels in a way maybe worse or more annoying than how like some of the Lady Arkham stuff in the first season. But I think that was easier to kind of overlook in a sense because there were all these other story threads. This episode didn't really have much at all aside from the Riddler stuff, so there's really not much else. I mean, I think like Amanda Waller is, and like the relationship between Waller and Gordon and Batman, that stuff I think was good. I like that. There's nothing really to complain about there. So it'll be interesting to like. There's still this story could either keep going in this kind of edgy direction where characters keep dying and whatever, which I would not be a fan of, but we'll see. But at the same time, it's also perfectly fully possible for this game's story to leave everything I don't like about it in episode 1, which was never really the case. Like once Lady Arkham was introduced or revealed in season 1, that was it. Like that, there was no way it would sort of recover from that, even though there were other parts that I still liked on, parallel with that. So here I think we'll see. I'm optimistic still that there will be a lot of parts that I will enjoy. Hopefully the parts that I kind of didn't will not be at the forefront. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I guess we don't have to worry too much about the characterization of the Riddler, at least. Anyway, let's get some stats here. You and 68.7% of players saw Alfred become vengeful. He was proud when you thought of Gotham before yourself. Showing him the video of Lucius being killed filled him with vengeance. So, that wasn't a choice, was it? Could we tell him not to look? I didn't realize that was a choice. He approves of your decision to take the drive by force. Well, okay. That's good, I guess. I don't remember that being a choice at all about the video, but I guess it probably was. You and 40%. Okay, so we're in minority here. Hopeful. He was hurt when you dragged him away. He was frustrated with himself when you didn't like his card. Even though he didn't agree to meet his friends, he's hopeful that you'll come around. I feel like I've helped become hopeful by doing things, by not, like, engaging with him. I don't know. You and 77, I left Tiffany furious. She was thrilled. We told her she could help with the puzzle box. She was consoled. We were able to relate. But because you told her the truth about endangering Lucius, she now feels betrayed. Alright, but what's the option then? To have her feel placated by a lie? I don't think that's better. Left him on guilt-ridden. He was sorry she angered you while asking you questions. He's full of guilt for having survived when her friends... Dude! One of them lived. Did he just died off screen? That's weird. But she's full of guilt. That's maybe useful to us. I don't know. But I suppose that pretty much indicates that you could definitely not have those other characters die, but that probably... I don't know, is that going to leave her deaf or worse? I mean, we'll see. I mean, the first episode, or the first season was full of X and Y character will remember this and that, and I don't feel like it had much impact on anything. So, this is, I'm sure, not going to have much of an impact. Like, it's not going to direct the flow of the story in any meaningful way, really. Because you went behind her back to talk to Mora, she'll work with you, but begrudgingly. A way that was strained. I mean, yeah, I'd rather have a strained relationship with her than a strained relationship with Gordon. You and 77% of players saw Gordon become steadfast. Appreciated. Suspicious that you refused to talk about Lucius. He's steadfastly loyal. Yeah, that's what we want. Is blue or orange good? I think that there's no... I don't know exactly. I mean, I guess blue is more positive, but that doesn't seem to apply here. So I wonder if it's like if blue or orange like contribute to whatever status we're at the end. I have no idea, really. But this is interesting in a way still, because I feel like whether or not this will have a tangible effect on the game, it at least has more of a narrative. Like, it feels meaningful. Like, it's a look back at how these dialogues and relationships worked out. In the first season, all you get are, like, statistic, like, you and X% of player decided to do this or not. But it doesn't say anything about how the characters feel about it. Yeah. What did you tell Gordon about your connect? But this is definitely more in depth than anything in the first season. 82% confessed to Gordon that Lucius was an ally. 9% told Gordon you could not talk about Lucius. 1.6% were silent when Gordon asked you about Lucius. 6% of players lied to Gordon about your connection. Oh, okay. I thought this was like 4 different choices, so never mind. Okay, I misunderstood. So we were in the 82%. I see. I'm kind of surprised this was the majority choice. I thought more people would go for the action-packed Batman choice. Took the drive by force. Yeah, I mean that once we were in that position, I didn't see an option. Like I didn't see any other option. Aha, see? Did you save Iman or the agents? So we did save her. I guess that means. So I think that means two things. The way the scene played out made it seem like, you know, we could have done this earlier, or like she could have withstood one more blast, and then we could do the same thing after that. But this tells me that if we had answered the second riddle correctly, she would have died. And I feel more connected with her as a character than any of these other schmucks, so I can't be upset. Like, if it's a zero-sum game, I'd rather have saved her. I like having her around more so than the other guys, I guess. Just because she's had 30 seconds more screen time. However, because this means that we're going into episode 2 where either she's alive or these guys are alive, that means, in my mind, that these guys are going to play a small part moving forward. And I would not be surprised that whoever survived this episode might not survive much further. Like, it's this kind of thing, right? If this is a branching path and everything in the game needs to acknowledge either path, the way these games are made, like, if they were to allow each path kind of blossoming into its own separate, tree of branches, that would get out of hand really fast. So the way this tends to work in these games is that something kind of splits off like this, and then before you know it, it sort of converges again. Which in this case, if it's a life and death thing where one character lives and another dies, either the agents like leave the story, whoever lives, or whoever lived this time dies soon after. Like that's kind of what I'm expecting based on this. Yeah, interesting. So we were in the majority except for the final thing there. Which, again, I don't feel bad about. I can't feel worse than I would have otherwise, I guess. So I guess we're going to be left with a next episode preview. I think that's how it usually wrapped up last time, at least. After a load time, naturally. Agent Blake was kind of I mean, it's like we didn't see much of him. No preview. Fine by me. I feel like we've already got enough of a plot preview to understand what to expect. Like there's a teaser built in the end of the first episode. I guess that means we're going to pause the timer right there. Because we're definitely not playing more now. It's getting pretty late. This took about an hour longer than I expected, and we had kind of a late start. So, unfortunately, we're only able to get through one episode tonight. I'd hoped we would be able to get through two. Even if I would feel okay about starting episode 2, I don't have episode 2 installed because this shit is, like, confusing as hell. And I need to probably uninstall everything and re-download everything because as far as the game is concerned, episode 2 is not installed. As far as the shop is concerned, it is installed. So I'm not allowed to... I can't even delete it and reinstall it. So I pretty much have to delete, like, everything. So I guess I'm going to have to fuck around with this off-stream to figure this out by Thursday. So we are going to be wrapping up here. I'm excited to continue playing. I'm very curious to see what some of these characters are going to be like and how the story is going to evolve from here. Thursday, I will be streaming, hopefully, the rest of this series. But depending on how things go, we might split it up into 2 streams and doing it on Thursday and Friday. Like doing, because either it's going to be a super long stream or we're going to do 2 streams that are a little shorter. Either way, regardless of how much time we need to wrap up this game, Saturday will be the Lost Tape special, where we revisit the NES, Game Boy, PC Engine, and Mega Drive and arcade games that we played early on where the VODs were sadly deleted. And Sunday, we're going to do the grand finale, where we look at all kinds of interesting statistics and videos and Bat-related game things. And, of course, rank every single Batman game that we've played for the Caped Crusade. And that's going to be super duper fun. Assuming we can figure this shit out, we might get stuck here not being able to finish this game because I can't fucking figure this shit out. But I'm not too worried. I'm going to just have to look into it off stream. But for now, next stream is scheduled for Thursday. And we'll be starting earlier than usual on Thursday. I work half day on Thursday, so I'm going to assume that we're going to be able to get started around, let's say, between 1 and 2 p.m. on Thursday. And we'll see how far we get through the season. If every episode is like longer than in the first season, then I would have to go super late on Thursday to actually finish. But we're going to play it by ear. We'll see. We'll definitely continue playing on Thursday anyway. So hope to see you guys tune in for that. Some annoying technical issues tonight, but we got through the first episode. Interesting for sure. Looking forward to next time on Thursday. So thanks for watching, everyone. Take care, and hopefully see you guys then. Thanks for watching. Bye.